Hello, folks. Welcome to the Nateland Podcast. Right now, you can get big discounts on all fire pits during Solo Stove's summer sale. And you use promo code Nate at solostove.com for an extra $10 off. That is solostove.com. Promo code Nate for $10 off on their top incredible sale discounts. But hurry, the summer sale ends June 23rd. Also, if thoughts and emotions are piling up, a perspective can help you feel better. Match with your dedicated therapist today at Talkspace.com. Use code Nate during sign up to get $100 off your first month. That is $100 off at Talkspace.com. Promo code Nate.
Life is busy and your well-being is important. Athletic Greens makes it so easy to get the vitamins you need
it this morning.
every day with just one scoop. Athletic Greens.
You need Athletic Greens.
I do. Sorry.
Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Visit athleticgreens.com/Nate for a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. That's athleticgreens.com/Nate.
Managing money can be hard, and juggling subscriptions, even harder. Never pay for an unwanted subscription again with Truebill. Go to truebill.com/Nate. It could save you thousands a year. And finally, need to hire? You know what you need. Indeed. Sign up for Indeed now and get a $75 credit toward your first sponsored job, plus earn up to $500 extra in sponsored job credits with Indeed's virtual interviews. Visit Indeed.com/Nate to learn more. Claim your credits at Indeed.com/Nate.
All right, let's go, folks. Welcome to the Nateland Podcast. I'm sitting here, Brian Bates, Aaron Weber, Dusty Slay. All right. So that's how people know you're alive.
Yes.
Would that be your welfare check? Is you would go, all right.
All right. Yeah, I think so. If you check on me and I don't go, all right, then you
Yeah.
know something's up.
Yeah. What if
Yeah.
you say all right, but your hand doesn't go up?
Well,
And
yeah.
then
That could be something too. Yeah.
could be something,
You're like,
too.
I'm not totally fine. I'm all right.
maybe that's how you would show you're in a hostage situation. Like, like what they do in a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The key is if you ever don't raise your hand, it's like something's not right.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe that, just like, I'm like, all right.
Yeah. all
I
right.
give a.
How you
nod.
doing?
All
All
right.
right. Yeah.
All right.
Your hand goes up. There's a little
Yeah. Yeah.
little pointy.
Little slanted.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Look over it. Look
Yeah.
over it.
They're like, we are having a good
Yeah,
time.
We're having a good
No,
time. We're
no.
having a great time. If you don't mind looking behind me.
You think when you're buried, when you're in the casket, you're just going to have them?
That would be the way to go. Just laying down and you come up and just my hands there.
Yeah.
People don't know what to do. They put change in it.
Yeah.
You can't shut the casket
You
door.
should get like Han Solo.
Oh yeah,
Isn't he like
Yeah.
Just the
Carbonite.
one.
just carving that and
Yeah.
just be
just be froze forever.
having a good time. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Even in death,
Even in
having
death.
a good time.
Having a good time. Yeah.
I hope
And-
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so. I do
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. As you go find out.
Yeah.
Let's start the comments. Chris Ramsey. I just have to say I was on the fence about Dusty joining the podcast. I thought it might throw the boys' chemistry off. After the restaurant episode, I am fully on board to the point where I demand Dusty give us a taste of all of his haircuts throughout the years and a brief discussion of each style. I don't know about that. But keep up the good. I know it's the whole. Go walk us through this haircut.
Yeah, I don't know that everybody wants to go
Yeah.
through them, but I got a million haircuts. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll come up eventually.
Did you ever have spiked, like you had blonde hair? Do you ever spike it up?
A little bit, yeah. Spiked.
Oh,
Actually, my senior photo, I have a little spiked blonde hair.
I did spike blonde once. Yeah, I did it. This was the time. This is when you did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this is what we did.
Yeah.
That was our
Mhm.
like 20 something phase. It was real big to get blonde tips. I did it once, but you have to fix your hair up every time. I've never been the guy that wants to. I fix my hair up for shows,
Yeah.
but outside of like I'm going somewhere or like a dinner, like I'm just 95%. I'm not fixing my hair, so it looks like a leopard's print.
Yeah, and if it's not gelled up, yeah, it's just flat.
It's just flat, and you got black circles and yellow. It really, and I was like, well, I'm just wearing it like that. I never
Yeah.
even did it,
Yeah.
and so then I was like, well, there's no point to this, and so I just waited till it came out, and then moved on.
Brian, did you do anything?
Yeah, it's just been this my whole life.
I can see that. Just a bunch of that. There's no point where you've ever looked probably different.
I mean, I had more hair when I was younger.
What was
Yeah.
the wildest look you've ever had?
I mean, it's been pretty much this,
Yeah.
just more of
Okay.
it. I found a picture of
When
me.
you unbutton that collared shirt from the top. I got mine top buttoned at the top, making fun of it. And mine is actually
Yours is higher than mine is.
Yeah.
yeah. It's I don't mind a nice one at the top, but I mean that would be your first step. You undid that.
I had a chain.
Yeah. Did you ever have jewelry?
There was about a rephrase my sophomore year in high school or
You had a chain?
yeah, a necklace.
Yeah.
Oh, not a chain wallet.
No, that's what we called it back in our day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then did people bring it up like when you walked in?
No. that's why I stopped after 2 weeks. It didn't work like
Yeah.
I thought.
Hurt your back?
Yeah. I found a picture of me at a Vanderbilt football game. I don't know. I was probably high school or something like that. And there's a lot of people in the stands behind me. And I thought, what if I looked back there and I saw Nate, like a young Nate?
Yeah.
You ever think about that? Like there's probably people, because we know we've been at the same games before. We
Yeah.
probably crossed paths and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Been kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it would be.
I shared a picture of me at a Talladega race when I was like 10, so it's probably 92. And two guys identified themselves in the photo that
Oh,
followed me
wow.
on Facebook. And then I looked them up and I was like, oh, that is those dudes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your fan base is you are your fan base.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're like already following
Yeah.
me and they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
here's this. Oh, we were there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're a bit older than me, so my fan
Yeah.
base may be dying off. I was definitely
Yeah.
the youngest in that crowd.
Yeah. They were
So-
old then.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
they were older than me.
Yeah.
You know, they were like grown ups, and I
Yeah.
was 10.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
like maybe I'll have a whole James Gregory thing going on. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Where fans just stick with you for ages.
Yeah. Well, they stay with you.
Yeah,
Yeah. I always think it is a good thing to be like, I mean, if that means you're being relatable. If people,
Yeah.
not saying everybody's going to these races that likes you, they like you for being funny and other reasons, but there should be a bit of you and all your audience.
yeah, totally. Yeah,
Like,
it
they
validates.
relate. Or
too,
they know
yeah.
someone, or they like, there should be a connection to be like, I like this guy.
Do you have people think you're not legit? Like
Well,
this is all a charade?
I think so. I think sometimes people think I make up. I mean, because my trailer park life wasn't so hard like some people. Like some people tell me their trailer park stories, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, mine wasn't like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like we had, a
You
washer
were
and dryer.
high class of the
Yeah,
trailer park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a phone that other people would come over and use.
Yeah.
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 So we had that going on.
Yeah. You were the new money
Yeah.
of the trailer park.
Yeah, I like to say I was the rich kid of the trailer park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we had stuff. I had like a Nintendo with several games.
Oh, wow. That was probably a big deal.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
would come over and play, and they would have an Atari.
Was
maybe.
it put in the newsletter?
Well, we didn't have one.
Oh.
If we had, I mean, there's nobody would have read it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a joke, but also it's true.
Yeah. I would enjoy a new, the Sleighs got a brand new Nintendo.
Well, you
Santa
know-
was pretty good this year. And they're like, oh, and don't post that. It's like
Yeah.
been posted in Forbes.
Yeah.
You're like, but for the trailer park, don't post something like that. You know what's going to happen in my house?
Yeah, you don't want people to know what you have.
Yeah.
There you are.
Here's the picture right there. There's a young Dusty.
There's a young Dusty.
Yeah, so the guy behind me in the Budweiser hat,
Yeah.
and then the guy next to him are the ones that identified themselves.
They're
Oh, that's
sitting
crazy.
directly behind
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and the guy behind him, that's my uncle with the beard. I don't know why we're two.
Yeah, I
rows
was about to
apart.
Who are you sitting next to?
That's my sister.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my cousin's there with the things hanging off his glasses. Looking
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah, that's my cousin. He shot. That's the guy that shot me with a BB gun when I was 5.
So Folger's hat
The hats in this
The hats
picture
are
are
great.
Yeah.
incredible.
you it cost you $50 to buy that hat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I like that your family's there and you can't even have seats. Who took the picture? Was it like the NASCAR took the picture
I
or
don't
something?
know
or-
who took that. It
Yeah.
could. I guess my mom was probably there.
Well, where did you get it?
My sister gave it to me.
Okay.
But
Oh.
the one that's sitting next to me.
I mean, it's just funny that your uncles. I mean, you and your sister are just next to each other. Then everybody's in a different row.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's behind this guy. But very well could be a relative or someone I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good picture. That should be an album.
Yeah,
You could have that be an album picture.
it's actually a little bigger too. I cropped it for Instagram, but there's several dudes with their shirts off and
Yeah.
mustaches, and
Mm-hmm.
people were just drink. I mean, they would drink. They would be emptying coolers
Yeah.
all over the place after the race. I mean, it was.
Just sit and watch something and have your shirt off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I think it was. I mean, look, it's probably hot, but it's like that's pretty crazy. Like just to be. I mean, this guy at the bottom looks like he has some back hair, he has some
Yeah.
shoulder. So like just to sit, I would to have that freedom. I mean, that guy got a cigarette in his mouth.
No
It's great.
hands. Smoke it with no
Yeah,
hands.
no hands.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just a time, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that guy behind him. I'm just in this little row. There's 3 people with no shirts on, and the guy behind him looks like an accountant. It looks like he's undercover
Yeah.
for the FBI, and they go, "You got to fit in," and he goes, "What do you want me to do? I got to take my shirt off," and then
Yeah.
his shirt is off, and he's miserable. And then everybody that doesn't believe in the FBI is watching him.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a nice conspiracy group
Yeah.
here that already thinks the FBI against them. Yeah, that's a great picture.
Yeah, the guy in all white there with a towel around his neck. I mean, that guy's like, I'm not taking
Got
my
extra-
shirt off,
he's not
but I'm
taking-
ready.
But he's got extra stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other guys were, it's interesting. Ellen, when reading a book in the Kindle app, you can go to the settings and change the font to Open Dyslexic, and it makes a big difference. Man, I did not know that. And that's huge. Oh, Ellen, thank you.
Do you consider yourself openly dyslexic?
I do. I mean, I talk about it here, right? So would
Yeah.
that not be open?
I guess so.
I don't even know if I'm dyslexic.
This is the font, Open Dyslexic font.
It's a new
It's
open
designed
source.
in a way to help people with dyslexia differentiate
Mm.
between certain characters.
So it switches in between words and pictures. And that would be, that's how they should do it. Uses unique letter shapes and it shows me like a triangle. I'm like, man, this thing, I am breezing. I'll try it. That could be interesting.
Why do you think they call it open dyslexic?
No, they got to get one slide in at us.
Yeah.
They don't ever just give us our own. There's a little dig.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know why that would be a dig, but it's they should call it dumb dumb. Does it help that I'm going to read Open Dyslexic and I'm reading books for dummies? Is this going to I wonder if it cancels
It'll
out.
Offset.
Cancel out.
It goes. It won't let me do it, and
Yeah.
it's like we've never even had someone try to do this.
Yeah, it's too much.
So I'm confused by all of
Keep
this.
shutting the app
Yeah.
down.
I'm gonna try it because I'll be interested to see if I'm nailing it down to either it's dyslexic or like the fact I can't remember anything is
Mhm.
like thanks to me what is it like the attention
ADD.
disorder? Something like that because you're like why am I not grasping this stuff? I watch a movie and I'm not grasping. Something makes me think there, and there's part of me that thinks do you figure it out or do you not figure it out? Because then that's I am who I am because I'm not figuring something out.
Yeah.
And so, but I would always think that people can think that with drinking. So people
Mhm.
that drink, they think, well, if I don't quit drinking, then I'm not going to be the fun that I am. And that's the most untrue statement you could ever have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Most, you're a light years better of a person if you just don't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't drank in 10 years. And when I was drinking, though, I could be a ton of fun, but also a real mess of a not fun person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could it's just,
You know what I mean?
and you just realize like how much you're not doing. You're like, oh, you're just passing time.
Yeah.
You're almost like your whole life's watching commercials. Like you're just like, or you're trying to, or it's like not what, maybe the opposite would be that. It'd be like you're like the fast forward button in commercials, like on DVR,
Mhm.
is when you're drinking just to get to the next. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
got to get through this thing, so I'm just like trying to. That might not be a good analogy, and I'm open to that. So Krista Walcott. Dusty trusting 1960 doctors more than the current doctors is why he might be the smartest one on the podcast.
Well, yeah. I can't agree with the whole statement, but yeah. I mean, the 1960s doctors, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they seem like they're into it. Like they're like, let's try to figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, they're like, I mean, I tell doctors things. They go, well, I don't know. We'll take some blood.
I feel, because I think now you're going and you're like, and then you ask where that blood's going. Like, where's
Yeah.
this blood going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, who's going? Can I take it back with me after you're done testing it? Can I have it back? Because I would like to drink it and put it back in my body.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you should
Don't
do.
waste the blood.
Yeah. Who are you
They're
sending it to?
yeah,
How are
they're
we getting
selling it.
more blood? You know?
What about it's like I went to a doctor one time. I told him I was burping a lot, and he goes, well, you can breathe in this bag and we'll send it in and see if you have whatever. And then he calls me and he goes, hey, congratulations, you don't have that. And I'm like, well, I'm still burping.
Yeah. Did you then pull up in that guy's car and you see all those bags in the back?
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of those bags and you're like, hey man, did you take those somewhere? And he's like, where would how am I going to keep your breath in a bag? How is that even, how do you really blow into it?
Yeah, you drink a thing and then you blow into a bag and they seal it up.
Like
Wow.
like the bread? Like
yeah.
twist tie?
twist it, yeah.
yeah, twist tie.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It was some sort of, I don't know. It felt official.
He's probably
I don't
selling it
know.
online.
I don't
Yeah.
believe it.
Dusty Slays burps.
That's the stuff so I think the problem doctors have, I just popped in my head. Maybe it's not true, but there's so much stuff we're asking about now that like there is no answers for this. You're going in and being like, I have this weird tingling in my elbow. Like where before it was crazy, you would just be like, yeah, dude, like your body feels weird.
Yeah.
And then now you're like, what is this one thing? And it's like a doctor can be like, I don't know what it could be, dude. Like it can be, your body's still going to be your body.
Yeah.
And so they don't have an answer to it. But if you want to pay for an answer, they're
Oh, right.
you
Yeah.
blood
get you an
work.
answer.
Yeah.
They got something that can numb that elbow to keep it from tingling.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they don't know why it's tingling.
Yeah. It's like your body's going to do weird stuff. It's like a house. You hear sounds,
Creaks.
Yeah.
creaks. I mean, it's settling. That's not even,
My body.
that's not a great, it's a nervous answer.
Yeah.
But like, they can't be like, well, the wood, I feel like someone could go into it for a second. They're like, well, the woods, like as it gets, and then they're like, I don't know.
And then if the words
It's like,
get
there's a
too
pony.
big,
Who cares?
and
man?
when they're explaining, if the words are too big, it feels like they're making it up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you're like, all right, now you've created something.
But if, and that would be like if a new person said that, but if like a 1950s old man said it's just settling, you'd be like, all right.
Yeah,
Like I would
totally.
like
100%.
He's cutting to the point, and then you'd be like, what does that mean? He goes, it means just settles. Wood's going to shrink. It's like it is what it is, and you move on. Like he's not trying to.
He's almost mad that you asked the
Yeah.
question,
Yeah.
and you're like, I don't know. Actually, I
Yeah.
am sorry. You're right.
Yeah. You're right.
Old men, yeah, I will. I'll apologize to them for things that I haven't done wrong.
Mm-hmm. Christine Tomasino, right?
Yeah,
Tomasino,
good
like the
job.
casino.
Tomasino.
Tomasino. Would I trust a doctor from the 1960s over myself in the present day? Absolutely not. Why? Because I have seen a photo of my grandfather, an anesthesiologist.
Good job.
Yep.
Mm.
I was like driving through those things that they make them. You don't have a bomb. They make you go around the curves. That's how I read that sentence. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
They
Not really.
like if you go for a U.S. like when we go to Iraq, they make you drive a zigzag. You never seen it in a movie, and they have these
I have
barriers.
seen that when you approach like a military base. or
Yeah,
something?
so you can't
Okay.
just drive straight because it's like you might have a car bomb. So they make you
Okay.
drive diagonal. I think that's what it's for, and that's
what
how.
that's what that word felt like for you.
Yeah, I was like anesthesiologist, and then they put a mirror under my car. Smoking cigarettes in the operating room. So he's seen a photo of his grandfather smoking cigarettes in the operating room over the person he just put to sleep for surgery. He was a practicing anesthesiologist for over 30 years between the 50s and 80s and was allowed to smoke in the hospital for his entire career. We've come a long way, folks. Yeah, the way we've come is we're just not smoking in there.
Yeah, sounds like he was calming his nerves.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the kind of anesthesiologist I want. You know what I
you
mean?
prefer that.
He's
Yeah.
like, all right, let me take a break. I got him asleep. He's open. Let me
Yeah.
just chill out for a
He's
minute.
the one like the guy with using his hands.
Yeah.
Just, no, we've come a long way. I say we've come a long way, but I understand the logic of if you asked, it would be for certain things. Do I want a guy in the 1960s to have surgery on me? No. But do I want to ask him about a cold and probably believe him
Right.
more? Yeah. I might because that guy's not going to,
Right. I'd like to know her grandfather's record, though, of
Yeah.
successes.
How'd that guy do?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that guy still alive? Is that guy,
Are ashers really that bad for inside the body?
Yeah.
I don't know. They'd probably get rid of him, right? Does he not smoke or did he take up smoking?
Yeah. I mean, that'd be something.
Yeah.
Close it up and he was
He
craving
just-
a cigarette.
He's like, "God, you gotta see, you guys never smoked in my life. And he's like, it's my fault. He goes, yeah. And the doctor gives him one. That guy has
Yeah.
no idea.
They're both, but he's like, my elbow's not tingling.
Yeah.
But now I got to smoke.
That's yeah. How's your grandfather even have this photo? That's what, like in the 60s. Just man, we get a picture of that guy cut open. I mean, all of it was unprofessional.
Yeah.
He got a group. Now come on in. Everybody come on in and get a picture. Like
Nah, he's out. Come
he's
on.
out.
in.
Come on in. You want a cigarette? A little shot of, come on in, everybody. There's a big group around. Jay, yeah, that's the nervous part. You get in and then you're like, how did it go? And like the whole hospital's like looking at you weird, and you're like, huh? Who was in there? Did they let everybody in?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Everybody came in. We had people driving up. We sold tickets for a couple of days.
Those weren't quick cameras back then either.
Yeah.
Those are the Kodak. And you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to
Polaroid.
see if it
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah, maybe it took several photos. Finally,
Yeah.
the guy was like, let me smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jay Baker. I heard Nate tell the story of his dad being forced to be right-handed. The same thing happened to my dad when he was a kid. The biggest difference for my dad, though, is that once he was able to write with his right hand, he developed a stutter. My dad also had a stutter.
Wow.
That's crazy. After dealing with my dad had speech impediment. After dealing with that for a year in school, they let him stop and his stutter went away. Also, he couldn't play baseball because he learned to catch left-handed with the glove on his right hand, but he throws with his right hand. Still can't do it to this day at age of 71. Love the show. Love all you guys. Looking forward to seeing you in Memphis in the fall. Yeah, this guy's still throwing baseballs at his grandfather at 71. Just launching them.
Why can't you catch?
Yeah. Or is it no? It's his dad. You got Jay Baker. You're like, why don't you take it easy on your old man? He still walks in the door out of nowhere. Dad, just hauls one at him. He's like, I can't. He goes, God. He goes, I'm gonna write it down. Still can't do it. His dad just got bruises of balls on his chest because he's like, I mean, no warning or anything, dude. Just give me a break.
Right, and you can't even tell him to stop. He has a
Yeah.
bit of a stutter.
He goes, can you? And he goes, and he's already out the door. I mean, it's 4 balls before he finally gets the words out. I can't, no more. No more. Just pound him. His dad, come outside. He walks out the door and just, hey, just the balls are being thrown at his dad. He's like, Jay did, gummit, Jay. My dad is speech man. Maybe that's crazy that they did that.
That is
That
wild.
could be, yeah.
Yeah, it messes up the brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Still would trust if that guy was a doctor, though.
Do animals have
Basically,
dominant-
that guy's doctor, the 71-year-old's doctor, were like, we'd go to that doctor, and this is what they also were doing, is
That's
making these
true.
kids be stutters. But you'd be like, I won't go to him for everything, but some stuff. What?
So do animals have dominant hands in the way that we do?
I don't think they have
That's
hands.
just a human.
That's probably a big. It's probably the hardest part.
Octopus.
Yeah.
I think a raccoon has hands. I wonder if it favors one over the other.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe we should Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, let's check in
sometimes
with them.
it's fun to
It's
Yeah,
fun to.
fun to talk about it
Oh, that's
first.
true.
I don't know
That's
if a
You're right.
raccoon would, if he, I think they use both their hands.
Yeah, I never really see them. Oh, I love that that's right there. Always wondered, can animals be left or right pawed?
Yeah, we know how this goes when Aaron Googles something and he gets no answer.
Yeah, primates, all animals seem to favor one hand over the other. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And righties outnumber lefties in the animal world as well.
Oh wow. Okay. So the answer is boring.
That's-
That's why it is almost better not to look into.
I know,
that,
I
'cause
know.
It's like that's not
the
fun.
discussion's more fun than just, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It turns
Yeah,
out they do.
how long does it take to study an animal to realize
Well, what
that?
if you make your trash can left-handed
Oh, yeah.
and then a raccoon?
And
My-
only the left-handed raccoon, and then he's the king.
Well, like maybe the right side doesn't go up all the way of the rack, and then the left side goes
Oh.
up, and then he's stronger Now, if you get a left-handed raccoon, it's bad news, but you know.
Or
Now that
the
raccoon's king, though.
Yeah. No, that
Or
guy.
queen, whatever
Yeah.
it is.
maybe if I put in left-handed wires under my car, squirrels
Yeah. Yeah.
couldn't get to
Yeah.
it.
It'd be hard for them to be dominant to pull.
Right. Because I think that's how they're doing it.
Michelangelo Coletta. Michelangelo, man. Given that's you got to live up to that name. Michelangelo. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a person with that name,
Yeah.
like a new person.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just call themselves Michael usually, but he stuck with it.
Maybe there is a lot of Michelangelos, but they go by Michael.
I doubt it, man. That seems pretty.
Seems like a lot to shorten. You know, a lot of people
Yeah.
go Mike from Michael, but I mean, you could go Angelo, Angel.
Michelangelo Coletta. I kind of like it.
I
This
like
the
it
last
too.
name too. I'm on board with it because you don't see it, but I hope it's going good for you. I don't know if you're going. I don't know. Would you mind him being a mechanic if Michelangelo worked on your car? I think I would like a Michelangelo working on
not
my-
as a mechanic.
I think so.
No,
You
I
go-
want a
I-
Cletus or something. like that.
No, you take it down to Michelangelo. You're like, what is it from the Ferrari family? You're like, I mean, that guy works at AutoZone, and you'd be like, no one even knows about him.
Yeah.
Like I would be going, you should start your own business.
Yeah.
Michelangelo Coletta.
It'd be tough to earn trust in a small town, I think.
But I think you could sell them on that. You're
know some stuff.
used to working on like
It's in my blood.
Yeah, you're like, this is what we do. dude.
Foreign
Like,
cars.
Oh, yeah.
Foreign car, like a Ford. You're like,
Yeah.
you're like, and then everybody gets to go like, no, my mechanic, like he used to do Ferraris.
Yeah.
That's in the office when that guy was like the janitor and he was like, I was a surgeon back
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
like you could sell it like that where
Mhm.
you're Michelangelo is just killing it. Love seeing all the lefty talk on the pod. The pain of using right-handed things can't be stressed enough. Just remember, 1 in 10 people used to be left-handed, and now it's 1 in 9. We're getting rid of them.
Wow.
That's my dad's generation that they beat it out of them. Love telling my friends we are slowly taking over the world. Dusty and Burpee make sure when you add a fifth host, they always use the right side of their brain as well.
All right.
Just to be, so 1 in 9 is more than 1 in 10.
We're taking
They're
over.
saying there's more of them.
We're getting
Oh.
better. We're
I
increasing
don't know.
in strength.
Yeah.
I thought that meant we got it. We're only asking 9 of them now. That's
Yeah,
all.
we're gaining in
So I
strength.
guess it was.
Around
Well,
here,
maybe they're just like they're
I
like.
think that's why.
I don't know if I even believe it now. They're asking. We used to ask 10 people. Now we can't even find 10 to ask. So we found 9. Or
Yeah, it seems like they could do 2 out of 10.
you can only handle talking to
1
9
in
left-handed people. What if that's the case? You're like, after you talk to 10 of them, you're like, God, dude. You're like, let's just ask 9. Who cares anymore? What if left-handed people are, it's just a kind of a nightmare. They go on and on and on, and you're like, there's only so much time in the day.
Well, there's some truth to that, but I don't think that's how they did that. I mean, it's not 9 left-handed people they were surveying. It used to be 10.
So now they're only asking 9 people.
Well,
Are you left-handed?
they're probably doing a higher number to get that percentage, but yeah, now it's according to him, it's increasing. It
I
probably is because of they're not doing like they did to your dad.
It
The-
makes sense that Michelangelo's left-handed, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
What if your friend was named Michelangelo and you had to call him Michelangelo
Michelangelo.
every time?
No,
and I love that he
Michelangelo.
shortened podcast to the pod.
Yeah.
But he sticks with Michelangelo.
Well, he's
capitalized pod too.
You're
I
like, hey,
appreciate that.
Mike.
I appreciate it as well.
Actually, it's Michelangelo.
It's Michelangelo. Mm. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I like it.
I think more comedians are left-handed than average because you do use the right side of your brain, which is the creative side.
Okay.
Who's left-handed in here? Just me and you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
But it's 50% in here.
but that's true. Yeah. Both doing pretty good.
Really working out.
Yeah.
And of those, 50% are successful. Just keep breaking it down.
It seems like it's if you're left-handed, it's either all or nothing. there's no in between.
I used to have a joke about 10% being left-handed, and my black friends did appreciate when I called myself a minority.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what we
Well,
are.
it is true.
Yeah, there you go. Sophia Mattis. Last year we went on vacation to Hilton Head, South Carolina. The last night we were there, we went to a local seafood place. It was fun until the end when my dad gave our waiter his credit card. We waited for probably 30 minutes until the guy came back and apologizing profusely. informed us that the card had slipped out of his hand and through the crack in the dock we were eating on. The next thing we knew, someone who worked there was pulling on some rubber boots and was about to go in after it. My dad, feeling bad for causing all the commotion, was about to go over and tell him it wasn't necessary, but he didn't have to. Oh, wait. The commotion was about to go over and tell them it wasn't necessary, but he didn't have to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe
Keep going. It'll.
Oh,
maybe they
at
should put a
that
period.
same moment, I was about to say an allegation. There's an allegation that came, and you're like, what happened in this story? At that same moment, an alligator swam under the dock right where his card was and didn't seem to want to move. We left the next day without his credit card. Wow. An alligator. Yep.
And then
Great.
that alligator racked up quite a bill.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you think you could, like, I guess you can get it with a stick. That's a whole thing.
At that moment, an allegation came out of nowhere. We had to leave town.
An allegation that an alligator.
The great thing about putting these on the screen is the people at home can finish this way ahead of time and just sit back and see what
I
happens.
thought some people didn't like it.
Some people didn't. Well, you got to find a good compromise.
Good
I think people
compromise.
want to see you reading them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll figure something out. Some people liked it.
Yeah.
We're just trying stuff out, man. Trying to stay
Yeah.
ahead of the curve.
Well,
you know?
we're I like the idea of compromising. I think there's a way to get both.
Put it at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're good thinking. God. I think that's obvious. You know what? What do we did at the bottom of the screen? You know what, Bates? I'm glad you said something. We were gonna do top, but do it like closed captioning.
Yeah.
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 Oh wow. Glad we had this meeting.
Well, why aren't we doing it then if it's so obvious?
Oh,
No, well, we tried it this way, saying
Yeah.
we should compromise. I would imagine the compromise would be
Mm-hmm.
put it at the
Yeah.
bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
All right.
Corey O'Brien. Most restaurants still pay their employees between $2 and $3 an hour based on the fact that customers' tips will raise that wage above the minimum. Removing tipping will bring the server wage down to a bare minimum of what the employer needs to pay them, rather than customers who appreciates the service and meal. So I understand Nate's thinking. A roundup purchase at Firehouse Subs is not someone taking care of you for an hour at a highly curated restaurant.
I don't
But the
think we-
roundup doesn't go to the person.
No, and I don't think we really know how the employer will choose to pay.
Yeah.
If you pay your people the bare minimum, then you're going to get bad employees.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the idea of it would be you would go support places that pay
Yeah.
what they should pay. But the roundup purchase at Firehouse doesn't go to the
It's for a charity.
it's
right?
for a charity. It's not going to the person. If it went to the person, I would almost do it every time.
Mhm.
But it's not going to the person. It's going to the charity. And I actually I think I said it. Firehouse Subs, their charity is like, I think it's like built through. It's like a fireman. Like you almost can track that to where that goes to more. It's the bigger, like Firehouse Subs is. I know it's kind of a chain now, but it doesn't feel like a chain
Mhm.
because it feels like there's still. I can see the beginning of it. You know, and like when you lose sight of the beginning of where it started, that's when I don't start trusting.
If it gets too big.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Walmart. You're like, I don't like. I mean, I had an old joke about it, but it's like, but like if you get to Target or what, you're like, well, I don't know what the beginning of these places were.
Yeah.
But Firehouse Subs, you're like, nah, that was probably started like.
I went to a Dollar General yesterday, and they were like, "Do you want to round up to help kids learn how to read?"
Mhm.
I don't know how y'all are doing that,
Yeah,
but I'll
that's-
do it. That sounds like a good cause.
yeah.
I like
know,
to go,
but Dollar
nah.
General is a giant company. You're like, pay kids to learn how to read.
You know,
Put
round up
some
and
money
wait,
in it.
Nah.
Why don't you say
that's how they do it? They just tell the kids,
Why don't you
if
go?
you learn how to read, we'll give you money.
No,
They
I'm
just pay
saying,
'em.
why doesn't Donald General go like, we will round up and we
Uh-huh.
will pay the roundup fee,
Yeah.
and that money goes to
Instead
like,
of putting it on me.
so come shop here, and then we round everything up and we give that money to whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, do that versus like you're asking the customer that's at Dollar General, and then you're going, hey, do you mind also helping people how to read? You're like, I don't know how to read, and I'm in here.
And then the employee's like, me either. And then you have a
Yeah.
real bonding moment
Yeah.
over it. And then you just walk out together.
Yeah, it's like the way that they keep asking.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's asking people to help
Yeah.
instead of these companies
I
that
think
are like, come on, man, like you do round it up and give, and then or like at least put next to it, here's what we give to charity. Like, show me what you're doing
yeah.
versus just asking. And your charity that you give is just my roundup. Like, so it's like Dollar General gave money, they're helping kids read. And everybody's like, wow, they're helping kids read. You're helping kids read.
Uh-huh.
They're just the ones that like figured it. They just go like, "Oh, we're just telling you to do it."
They're the middlemen.
They're the middlemen.
Somebody told me March of Dimes, they call it that because only 10 cents of every dollar goes to help people. And I don't know if that's true, but
I don't think they would flaunt that.
I just feel like they
that's
did.
funny.
They just put it right out there.
Yeah,
They're like,
just
"We
upfront
told you."
about it. Yeah, yeah. We hand people dimes.
Yeah. We march around, throw dimes at them.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm getting fire subs today.
Yeah. There's a comment a couple down that I think
Okay.
says just what you said.
All right. Kate Willer, the guy who I have recently started dating, will put a cash tip on the table when we get seated at a restaurant. Then, if the service is not great or the order gets messed up, he will visibly reduce the tip in front of servers by taking some of the cash away. He's a generous tipper, about 30% or more whenever service is great. But I think it's not the best strategy for good service. Do you think this is a red flag? I do think it's just. That's something you want. It's like the difference is that's something that you should want to do, and you probably talk about it to your friends, but you never do it because it's kind of insulting.
It's very insulting.
Yeah,
it's very condescending.
It's very condescending.
It's dance for me, monkey, or I'll take away this
Yeah,
$1.
You should.
You know?
30% is not that generous.
I was gonna
either
say.
to a guy that's like putting the money on the table.
Yeah, your bill's $20, and you're like, you put $5, and you take it back down
If
to
someone
4.
did that to me, I would want to be like, just take it all off the table.
That's what I do. Yeah, you just keep your tip.
keep it all.
I would give them the best service, and then ask them not for a tip, and go, I don't want the tip. Like, yeah, I'm real. I don't want to make, especially in that scenario, like you don't want to make someone feel less than you, and that very much kind of makes that person, I think, feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the red flag as far as like dating this person. I mean, you want to be married and like, and you have kids, and then your whole life. It's like dad would do this, like, and I mean just the uncomfortableness of like having to watch that.
I used to work with a guy, and he would say, when he would take cab rides, he would say, I got $5 for you. Every time you talk to me, I take $1 away.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Was that you?
No, it was not me. I'm the guy that talks to people the entire time.
Yeah.
Every ride I'm in, every time.
Well, I mean, you can get on your phone now. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, back then, you read a newspaper. If he wasn't, you could do something to be like, I don't want to talk. I don't ever even like Uber. I would never put the don't talk because it just feels rude. I mean,
But when you get a notification that the driver is deaf or hard of hearing, you're
Yeah.
like, all right, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
I don't think I don't know if I've ever.
I
had
You
did
never seen that?
No.
I get it occasionally. It says the driver's
Yeah.
deaf or hard of hearing. Just a heads up, he's probably not going to talk to you. And
I
you get
think
that, and you're
that's-
like,
I think they're
incredible.
lying.
I got that one
I don't
time.
know if I believe the
It
percentages
wasn't true.
Like
that
Seinfeld.
you're seeing them enough. Like you're.
I get it pretty frequently, and a lot of
That's
times,
not.
I
there's no
promise
way.
you, I think it's just people go, I don't want to talk to my
Yeah,
passenger, so I'll just say I'm deaf.
Yeah.
they got you flagged specifically.
Yeah.
You think?
They're like, just go ahead and tell this guy.
That,
you're
or I
deaf.
think drivers are even drivers are like, yeah, dude, I don't want to talk to you because I bet drivers are like, I get talked to more than I talk to people.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like you're gonna get people that are drunk, you get people that are what and so it's people always act. I'd almost be willing to bet there's more problems with passengers talking than
Yeah,
drivers.
of course.
Well, I used to be a driver. I would try to match whatever energy they had. If they wanted to talk, I would try to talk. If they didn't, but I would try to follow their lead.
You never took the lead with it. Okay.
No, because some
Yeah.
people, I think most people,
I think he would want to, and he wanted to talk.
no,
Yeah.
most people don't want to talk, and I didn't want to talk. But
Yeah.
some people, like Dusty does, they think it's awkward not to talk.
How often did you
Yeah,
leave
I get right in.
a
What's
bad
going on?
review of the passenger? Did that happen very often?
No, I don't think I ever.
Because
did.
I just checked it. I checked this weekend. I have perfect 5-star rating on Uber and Lyft.
Yeah,
Pretty proud of that.
yeah.
I don't know how common that is.
I think I have a good.
I think
rating.
it's very uncommon. I think at my rating, last time I ever saw it was like 4.789. It was
That's
like
pretty good.
something.
What do you
but
think
it's-
lost it? What do you think lost the points?
I don't know. I even looked it up, and someone's like, it could be. Because what's funny is something got in my head. It was like you could close the door too hard,
Mm.
and then that could.
Oh,
And so like now I always like try not to slam the door, but like you could be, maybe the guy wanted to talk and you didn't talk. Like it could be, they were saying like it's almost impossible to have 5 just because you like, I don't know, you could accidentally even hit
Mhm.
a button, or that could be whatever.
I think I'm pretty charming.
Yeah, it could be that.
Could be part of it.
Yeah.
You never left a bad review.
I think it's because you sit and watch him press it. You see,
I go, I'll get out of the
Yeah.
car when I see you leaving.
yeah,
You have to tell them in sign language because
yeah.
You have the
Pick
money
up
up on the
their outfit.
chair. You removing
What did
money.
they? Yeah, what did they go? It's for Aaron Webb. They're like big front seat guy. I'm like, so everybody knows that that they fix you up. You're like, oh no, and he just hops in the front. Did you have people hop in the front seat?
yeah, now it's not allowed, right?
I don't know.
I think we're
During
back.
COVID, they stopped letting you do that.
Yeah,
Back then you could.
I had a guy in Michigan go, just get on up here with me. And we
Yeah.
rode and just like we were best friends.
hmm
I took an Uber in Pittsburgh or somewhere during COVID, where everything was very strict, and a guy picked me up at a pickup truck, and there was only one. It was a 2-seater pickup truck, so it's just me and him with a mask on. And I go, this is how every Uber worked. You kind of like, can we take the mask off
Yeah.
or whatever? And I go, can I take the mask off? And he goes, no, they're watching.
yeah.
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I go, who's watching? He's like, see that light on top of my phone? They're looking through the camera at me. I'm like, oh,
Dusty would be
God.
like 5 stars.
Yeah. Yeah, they are watching.
yeah,
They might have been. I don't know.
yeah. They might
We
have.
kept it on.
Andrew Stewart. I'm 100% on board with not donating to companies when they ask. A lot of larger corporation businesses count these donations towards their own charitable donations, get tax breaks at the end of the year. If I'm already a customer, it seems like the least you could do is not burden me to get tax breaks. That's exactly what we were saying.
Mhm.
I'm not into it. Yeah.
Andrew Stewart. Huh?
Yeah, I'm not into the extra. I'm just
Yeah.
buying things from you, and then
Yeah.
you're guilting me at the end to give you more
yeah.
things.
It's emails. It's Brian Regan had a joke. What can I do just to pay to not have a relationship with you? Like, how do you like? It's your email. Your everybody's. It's just out of control. Derek Babb, Nate and Aaron said they didn't want to give their phone number for the rewards program. Oh. One option is to give a number that is not yours but is likely in the system. If you know the area code, 867-5309 is in nearly every system thanks to Tommy Two-Tone. They might call you Jenny, but other than that, it is a pretty good way to still get the discount with them actually tracking you. Wow.
Pretty good.
There you go. But I feel like you got to always go 867-5309. Like, they're going to know.
Mhm.
Like, so you have to be cool with like
You'd have to say it differently.
8. Yeah. You go
can't say it.
867.
I think you sing it every time.
8675. Hold on. What's the 309? 8675309. You
Yeah.
can say that. That could be enough to break it up.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids won't even know these songs.
They don't care.
Yeah. I think you sing it every time. You go 615-86. You really get
Yeah.
into it, whatever it is.
It
I
would
don't
be
know.
like, how big of a show do you want to put on?
Yeah.
It's how I would. You want to put on a big show?
Sing the song, have a
Be
glitter
minded.
bomb.
Some people would love it. Some people would love it. All right. Summer nights are here. Go get outside and enjoy your solo stove. Take it camping to the lake or have your neighbors over for s'mores and a nice hang. They have small sizes or larger sizes, especially, going camping would be unbelievable. A solo stove. Get out there and get a nice big fire.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like just, again, you don't smell like the smoke. I mean, I don't know how much I can tell you how great that is. There's no setup, just unbox and enjoy. Little fire starter wood, and you can have a nice fire quickly. We have the bonfire version with the stand. It burns down to a white ash, so cleanup is super easy. Right now, you can get big discounts on all fire pits during Solo Stove's summer sale and use promo code Nate at solostove.com for an extra $10 off. That is solostove.com, promo code Nate for $10 off on top of their incredible summer sale discounts. But hurry, the summer sale ends June 23rd. Also, Talkspace. Everyone is busy, so it's easy to put all your time and energy on other people and responsibilities above your own mental health. It's good to have Talkspace. Look, I think it is good to go talk to someone. I honestly do. I think it's nice. I think it's hard to talk to your friends, hard to talk to your family. I mean, you can, but it's like only you are going to care about you. And so it's sometimes get an extra, a different perspective on the stuff that you're going through. Some of it, maybe you're over exaggerating, and some of them you're not over exaggerating. And some of them, like a lot of people probably even hold on to too much stuff. And they just need to go talk to someone to be like, yeah, am I crazy? And you need someone to go, you're not crazy, dude. We all are going through this. They schedule a live session if you need to talk to someone. It's available 24/7. One of their licensed therapists. They have thousands of therapists. Talkspace, it's private, secure, and accessible. If thoughts and emotions are piling up, a fresh perspective can help you feel better. Match with your dedicated therapist today at Talkspace.com and use promo code Nate during sign up to get $100 off your first month. That is $100 off at Talkspace.com, promo code Nate.
When we started taking Athletic Greens a few months ago, none of us ate healthy. Nate's now eating very healthy. You've obviously been eating healthy last year or so, or more so.
Way more than I was. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm the one that's dragging here, but I do have Athletic Greens in the morning, and it is healthy for you. It's just a simple way to improve your health. It's a great start to the morning. They have a lot of great ingredients. I think we've all kind of acquired the taste for it, but now kind of crave it.
I like it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Tastes great. It's easy
It's
to
not
make.
bad. When you first taste it, it's like everything, but then you're like, oh yeah, it's good. I've had it with other things, healthy bars and stuff like that I used to not like, and then now as I've eaten better, you're like, oh, I kind of want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of crave it now. It's 1 scoop of powder with water, shake it up, drink, ready to go. Travel packs are great when we're on the road, so you can do it anywhere you go. Easily pour into a bottle of water. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and help your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially with cold and flu season. Just 1 scoop of cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy now, Athletic Green is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Nate. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Nate to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Truebill. Nateland's brought to you by Truebill. From forgotten free trials to automatic renewals, big companies, they are the scum of the earth. They will keep charging you until your account gets canceled. Truebill is your secret weapon to help you save money on subscriptions. On average, when people sign up for Truebill, they save up to $720 a year. I signed up for some crossword game like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Paid for it, forgot about it, hooked it up, my account up to Truebill. Truebill said, you still want to play this game? I said, no. They canceled it for me.
Look at that.
How much was it?
It was $3.99 a month.
For 3 years?
You sign up, you go, I'll cancel this next week.
Yeah.
Totally forget about it. Truebill nips it in the bud. Did you go into subscription overload during COVID? A lot of people did. You sign up for all these different services. They will keep track of it and they can cancel it for you. So take back control of your subscriptions with Truebill. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/Nate. Go right now. Truebill.com/Nate. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/Nate. And finally, it's our old friend, Indeed. It's where we hired Dusty. There's nothing you can't accomplish with a great team. This podcast will be nothing without me, nothing without Brian. When you're assembling the right team, you need all the help you can get. You need Indeed. Here's why. It's the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. It's a one-stop shop. Don't jump around from all these different platforms. Just stay on Indeed. Instead of spending hours on multiple sites, they can do it all right there. You can do virtual interviews right through Indeed.com. With Instant Match, over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job subscription the moment they sponsor a job, according to Indeed Data US. So sign up for Indeed now and get a $75 credit toward your first sponsored job. Plus, earn up to $500 extra in sponsored job credits with Indeed's virtual interviews. Visit Indeed.com/Nate to learn more. Claim your credits at Indeed.com/Nate. Indeed.com/Nate. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
All right.
All right.
That's a lot.
There we go. So I want to just give a shout out to a comedian, Dustin Nickerson. He wrote a book, How to Be Married to Melissa, with his wife, Melissa. Dustin, if you've seen me on the road, he's been with me before, and he'll be with me coming up. So Dustin's very funny, and a lot of stuff about marriage. He has a bunch of kids, and great dude.
It's a great book.
Great book.
I read it. Skip chapter 4 about a sex life, but besides that,
Is it really?
just everything else is great.
So yeah, it's great. And then I'm read it with my new dyslexia.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, How to Be Married.
Yeah.
To Melissa. Dustin, a hilarious guide to a happier, one-of-a-kind marriage. All right. So this week, what are we talking about?
Talking about hotels.
Hotels.
I've stayed at some really nice hotels thanks to you, and I've stayed at some really crappy hotels thanks to Comedy Zone. But when I got to stay at a hotel for the first time on the road and the Comedy Club paid for it, to me that was like, I've made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
big
doing-
deal.
Oh yeah.
It's exciting.
I had, yeah, I have, when I actually know the date. It was like December 14, 2005 was the first, like my Comedy Road hotel gig. And it was the first one I did.
Do you remember what the room looked like? Or what-
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was in Michigan. I want to say Battle Creek. It's, it was, it's crazy. And I know I had a thing where I wrote a note to my parents and like, and I did it that day because it was like the first. It was like, oh, I was in my head. I'm like, I'm a comedian. I mean, I wasn't making any really money then, but it's the idea that I was like, cannot believe
Yeah.
that I'm getting to stay in this hotel, and I was like, they're paying for it.
Yeah.
I'm not even paying for this hotel.
Somebody's doing this much just to have me do
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you almost want to like at least I want to tell the people checking me in like I'm doing comedy.
Yeah.
I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
I'm here this weekend
Yeah.
in town doing
you
comedy.
get to say
believe
that.
that?
You go, I'm a comedian. I'm
Yeah.
the comedian.
Yeah.
And then, it was like the first time you get to really say that, and you're like, golly, dude, I flew here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was very, very special. And so it was I remember it. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy.
Mine was down at Stardome in Birmingham or Hoover, that Courtyard by Marriott, I think.
Oh yeah.
Still there.
Still the hotel.
Seen better
yeah.
days, but back then it was
Mm-hmm.
really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to the Jim and Nick's.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
Yep. It's great.
Who were you working with?
Henry Cho.
All right.
Yep.
You know, y'all's?
I did it was a Comedy Zone in North Carolina. I don't remember which one. I don't even know if it's open anymore, but it was Kurt Green was the headliner, played guitar. And terrible shows. He did fine.
Yeah.
I bombed, but it was a nice hotel. And
Yeah.
it felt good. I mean, I drove so far that I probably made no money.
Yeah.
I know I got paid $270 that weekend for 4 shows.
Yeah.
And I think the club even hated giving me that
Yeah.
towards the end. I mean, because it wasn't all my fault, though. It was a bad club,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and I feel like, and there was nobody there. So I was doing my little thing, telling fish jokes and whatnot. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done this since I started comedy, and this is kind of embarrassing, but it's relevant to what we're talking about. I actually keep every hotel key when I work the
Oh,
road
God.
wow.
in
Yes.
a binder, and on the back of every hotel key, I write where I was, the
Yeah.
date, what show I was doing, who I was with,
Wow.
and
Look at that.
I didn't have this in mind when I started. I just remember the first time I went on the road for comedy, and I had the hotel key. I go, I just kind of threw it in a.
Is
Do it in a
there an
box.
order?
They're not in perfect order, but there is kind of a general progression through time.
It's like
So
weird
as
how
you get-
cool.
Your first one is 2019 or 18?
There's probably a couple 2017s in there. I started in summer of 2015.
Well, that's weird.
It's weird
That's
how
the hard part because I was like, 2018. I go, well, where's the ones you started with? And I forget that you started that's when you started.
yeah.
So
this is borderline cool / insane.
It is insane.
Yeah.
But I don't regret doing this because it's very fun now
Yeah.
to flip through
Yeah.
and be like, I'd forgotten about some of those weekends. I got the first time I worked with Nate.
I'm sure the Hilton would
Tampa
like to have some of those
Improv.
cards.
Oh, you
so
write
I usually ask for the keys back. I'm
Yeah,
surprised you
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, I don't think they're happy with me doing this.
No, I'm saying I do.
Oh, yeah.
I go, can I have all your keys in case y'all try to do some dumb collection? I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Somebody's
that's
on there.
neat.
Remember the Main Hangar restaurant in Decatur,
Oh, yeah.
Illinois?
I do remember the
Dusty,
Main
I've
Hangar.
got- I've got the hotel key in
Getting
there.
yelled at about
Yeah.
the guy for wanting a meatless pizza.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
probably use that doing taxes or looking up something if you can't, or a bill. You can't remember why. You can go
Right.
The-
look at that.
Right.
I would say, what is the year you think you're stopping? Because I bet there's a year, and it's gonna
You
like.
think I'll just stop doing that?
Yeah, I remember wanting to do that too at the beginning. I don't think I ever did it. You would kind of do it. I got a lot of my, lanyards. So I got a lot of them hung up like in this bathroom right here, and like, and they're set up and they're very cool and it's like all the different ones. But even like that stuff, when you collect, you end up just going like, all right, it's like you end up getting so many that you're like,
Yeah.
this is a lot. Now, I don't think that's a bad thing. You have every show, basically.
Every show where I've gotten a room key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not, like I said, that's not bad because in 25 years, it will be neat to like, if you were just collecting the keys, I'd be like, it's probably, you're not going to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you're writing it,
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like just a kind of easy journal.
It's almost like, a scrapbook of.
Yeah,
And if there
I'm
ever-
not against that.
And if there were ever a big key shortage, you would have a valuable
I
asset.
would
Oh,
be
yeah.
all
Do you know how
set.
many you have?
No, I mean, it's a few hundred in there.
Yeah.
for
It's the
sure.
Guinness Book of World Record for most key cards is 922.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Oh, you're gonna get
destroy
that.
that.
yeah,
pretty soon.
that's
You
easy.
could
Well,
set
there
a
you go.
world
You got a
record,
goal.
You got to start losing keys throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
We, mine was like, the thing that I have is I have note cards of my set list.
Oh.
And so I've always written them out on note cards. And so I have those and they go back to 2004. And so I have, and like there's going to be bits and pieces, not every single show, but you could go through those and you get a very decent glimpse of my career just because I would write where I'm at, what I'm doing, like whether it's like Boston Comedy Club or, and then starting on the road and I kind of write now on the road. And so I'll just write like where I'm playing.
Yeah.
But I get a little lazy with that where I'll use the same card, especially when I'm not like writing the new hour and I'm kind of just messing with the order maybe. And I'll have the same card I could have it for a month. I'm not rewriting it every
Yeah.
show. I try to do the big shows or the, city, like, I did one for the Beacon, like, ones that like, I know, all right, when I go back and look at this in 10 years, it's going to be like my first time I played the Beacon, but I have a lot of comedy club, so that's my kind of version of it. You keep a straight up diary, right?
I keep I didn't know if I'd ever told you that. I keep a journal. It
Mhm.
makes me feel better than say diary, but I've been keeping it since 1995
Wow.
and I write in it every night. So that's 27 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I look back what I was doing a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago,
Yeah.
every 5 years, 15, 20, 25, to see what I was doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Saddest
Wow.
book ever written.
Just progressively gets worse. No, it makes me realize.
Gotta go fast forward. When's the squirrel section start?
Yeah.
Well, you got to head in 2022, the early squirrels.
Yeah, it makes you realize though things that were so important to you at the time just
Yeah.
just
I
don't
know.
matter.
Yeah.
Just you think it's going to be life or death, and it's just not. So
Yeah.
How long of an entry do you do every day?
I mean, just what I did. I don't write about my thoughts and feelings. I just literally write down what I did that day.
Yeah. Like today would be, I went to the podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully something else will happen. But
Yeah. Yeah. You want something else what else do you want to have happen?
I don't know. I mean, something that I don't do every week. Like
Oh.
we're gonna go do a radio interview when we leave here. I'll write
Oh,
that.
okay.
I'll add that as well.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, no, I was joking. I think it's great. And it's, because then you get to see, it's going to be, I mean, it's a collect, when you write your memoirs,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you'll be able to do it and know exactly where you're at and where you're at.
Yeah.
I liked it because you told me something where like, hey, we were at this thing.
Oh yeah.
This,
I
whatever.
do that all the time with people, and it really annoys them. And they're always like, "How would you know that?" And then
Yeah.
I have to decide: am I going to tell them that I do this dumb
Yeah.
thing? But
I've been writing a diary. I keep it under my bed. My wife doesn't know about it. If you mind, don't tell anybody.
I've congratulated a lot of friends on their anniversary, and they had no idea.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry about your dad passing away 15 years ago
Yeah.
today. What?
Yeah. What? Good night. Bro. Were you there? Did they start investigating you?
They're
Were
like,
you in
thanks
on
for
it?
the update. I actually had forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
ruined their day.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, man, sorry about that.
I think Brian Bates might have something to do with my dad's death 15 years
You
ago.
text me about it every year.
Every year.
How would he remember that?
How would he know unless he was the cause?
I used to journal a bit when I was a drinker, and you could always tell when I was drunk. Like
Yeah.
I would be really angry, and I didn't want to forget
Mm.
what had happened to me, so I would write it, and it would be just so sloppy and so mad looking. And then the next day, you're like, I'm writing details like never talk to Corey again. Like I'm 5 years old, but I'm just drunk.
Yeah. The dedication it takes is good. I think that's something that's like,
Absolutely.
it's like to be able to continue to do it. It's, I mean, I think college is a bit of that where it's like, well, can you even get through it?
Mhm.
And it's like, so just even the dedication to enter that stuff is pretty wild, and to see that. But then it is crazy that you could go through it, and yours would be interesting to be. You quit Channel 5, and then you start comedy, and then have a baby. I mean, it would be like if you read it, you'd be like, well, it'd be a pretty crazy story.
Yeah.
There's no signs that like a baby's going to come.
If you read it, you'd
Yeah.
be like, I think these pages got out of order.
Yeah.
I think I'm reading it backwards.
Yeah.
Well, when you quit Channel 5, was there more of a writing than that, or just go quit Channel 5 today?
Oh, yeah.
Walk the
I
dog.
don't think it's
Yeah, I write details about
Yeah,
it,
okay.
but it's
just
not.
bullet points. Went
Yeah.
to the store. Quit job.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain events in my life, sure, that I write,
Yeah.
like when I had a baby and stuff like that. But 15 years ago is when I started comedy. So now when I look back each night, often it's like just some first time I did Zanies, first time I
Yeah.
did
hmm
this or that.
Bombed at Jaslyn jokes.
Yeah.
Just written in there.
It'll be a few years later and I'll get paid for a gig.
Yeah.
So-
It definitely keeps you thinking only about yourself. So that's good. And
Did you hear the part where I contact people and tell
Yeah.
them sorry about your dead dad that they forgot?
before you go to bed every night, you just see where you were 5 to 10 to 50. So every night you think about yourself. You go to bed, you only think about, well, how was I doing?
Well, I'll start journaling about you.
No, it's not about it's I'm saying you like I'm half joking, but it
Yeah.
is funny to like so you read it before you go to bed?
Yes.
So every night before your last thoughts are about yourself
Yeah.
before you go to sleep. right.
That's true.
Yeah. This makes the most sense. I mean, this is all coming together for me. So finally,
Or you're writing. I mean, I just think it's to write. So and so's dad passed away. It's like that's I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about. And
well, it's what he did though. So a funeral would be in there because it'd be a
right.
big event.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's like
You would
that's
only
not a
write if you
normal-
got invited to
Yeah.
the funeral.
Well,
if he was like
that's not how
going to
funerals
funerals
work, but
every day.
Yeah, you don't get invited to funerals.
Yeah.
You just kinda
save the
show up.
date.
Yeah.
okay. I don't know. That's why I've never been to one. I guess
I get nervous though, like if you
I've not gotten the invite yet.
Yeah. You go, golly.
yeah.
man."
You've never been to a funeral?
I guess when I was younger, I was drug along, but
Yeah.
You
Well,
thought y'all were invited to it
Yeah.
like a wedding?
I don't
Yeah.
know how they work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think can't allow everybody to come.
I go to at least one
You
a week.
could. I mean, you want the.
How many people in your life now that you are happy they died and you're like, oh, I thought, because you thought they weren't inviting you. So then you're just leaving. You're like, well, I'm glad he didn't make it.
yeah,
And you don't like that person.
yeah, no invite.
No invite. You're
Yeah.
like,
My sister did a thing where she got like all mad about her grandmother died, and she posted on Facebook. That
not
she
your
was like,
grandmother either.
No, it's we have
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we have different.
I mean, that's so, you're
That's
like, my
trailer
sister,
park.
this sounds like a tabloid after that.
yeah.
You're like, well, my sister's grandmother died, and we're just bam. She's around the kitchen table talking to, like my dad, but her brother, and then
Yeah, and she posted on Facebook that I nobody could send me the details of my grandma's funeral, and then her cousin got all mad at her, and it was like I thought somebody does send you some details, let you know what's happening.
Well, if a family, I'd imagine, is kind of broken up, or if there's fighting amongst the family, I think
Yeah.
stuff can get real weird.
yeah,
And I'm not saying that's happening in this case, but I think you could be where it's like if there's money or there's a house or there's like, and especially when there's like a lot of, it seems like there's always seems to be trouble when there's divorce and that kind of
Always.
thing. And
Mhm.
like, and then you're trying to figure out where everything's going to go and who's going to get what. I think that's what, I'd imagine those are the problems that happen.
yeah. There's probably there's probably a lot of stuff like that.
It doesn't help to say my sister's grandmother died and you have no emotion towards it to be like, and be like, I wonder what the problem is. But like, well, we could locate it pretty. I at least know the door we should open first, and then I think the problem would be maybe a door behind it, maybe in the room.
Yeah, she posted it on Facebook. I mean,
Yeah.
so there was information available.
You only talking to her through Facebook is great, and that's how you get all of the information about your
Yeah.
sister. Is you
Yeah.
guys just read about my?
it is easy to keep up that
Yeah.
way. You don't really have
know.
to.
I don't look at Facebook at all anymore,
Mhm.
and I haven't for a long time. But I kind of do want to go back to like I wouldn't mind going to Facebook just because it's like you do want to see what everybody's your people are up to and what they're doing.
It's definitely changed class reunions because now you kind of know what people are doing, kind of keep up with their kids even if you've never met them.
Yeah.
You kind of know what they all look
yeah.
like too, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna know. But I have a lot of my high school that I would love because I'm not on Facebook, so I don't see all their kids, and I would like to see like how many kids they got. Like how old are the kids now? Especially now, I mean, their kids some of them are in the teenagers, and so it'd be fun to.
Some are
like
grown. I mean, you could. I mean, they could. Some of them have grown kids.
Yeah.
I mean, girls I knew that like didn't graduate high school, like they have kids that are like out
graduating high school.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
Well, one thing about your key card, if you're going to set the world record, that could deter you is a lot of hotels now are going to digital key cards. Have you done this?
Yeah, I actually love it. It's upsetting for my collection, but I have the Hilton app now where I just check in on the app and then I can just go straight to my room. I don't even have to go to the front desk.
Oh, I didn't know about that. You've not shared that info with me.
Oh yeah, check in, get the room on the app.
I feel like it's never worked out when I've tried it. Every time I've tried it, it's never worked out.
It says like come to the front desk or something.
It's like it's and then I've tried a few times I've tried it didn't work and then I just was like I just
gave up on it.
I gave up on it.
It's pretty cool. It's 4 out of 5 times it works, no problem for me.
And then you have to open the app every time, or is it just you hold your phone?
Every time you open the app, it'll detect whether you're close to a door.
Yeah.
So if you're outside, it'll be like you're near the hotel entrance. Press a button and then it'll unlock.
Okay.
And then it'll detect that you're near your room. It'll say, "Want to unlock your room?"
That's cool.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No.
That's true. Well, how? Because if they can, because what the problem is well, who else can get in that room?
Right. Who else is hacking the app?
But anybody in the hotel can get in that room.
Yeah.
And if they can hack your phone to get into your room, then they can just probably easily hack the Holiday Inn you're staying at and get the keys from your room. Like they're going to get in your room.
Just seems like there's a lot more going into it to hack the key system and make a key.
I mean, I don't think there's. I feel like
probably just knock on the door and go maintenance.
Exactly. I'd let them in, no problem.
They could. Yeah. There's. I feel like if you like sometimes with a conspiracy, you got to do the conspiracy versus the comfort and the ease.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one that you just go with the ease because you're like, if they're going to get in there, they're getting in there, and like so you would just give up and be like, that one I'm gonna let slide.
Yeah. Well, it is true. I mean, it's like I mean, you just go. They just come in, do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I stay at hotels usually where 50% of the time my key card's not going to work because it's next to my phone and I have to go back to the front desk.
Yeah.
And say that's a big issue.
Yeah.
Well, I love hotels. I mean, I went for a long time. I lived in an attic apartment with it was very uncomfortable, and hotels would be better than my own house.
Yeah.
And I was like, I loved even a raggedy hotel. I'm like, this is great. But I've been like, what's some of the worst hotels you guys have been in?
I mean, if your door opens up to the parking lot, it's not a good head start.
No, that's what I was about to say. It's a motel.
Yeah. And I've done those. I mean, I've stayed. Yeah. I'm trying to think of any that stand out.
Aaron and I, a comedian friend who just got bed bugs.
That's right. No. Yeah.
So thankfully, I don't think that's ever happened.
He got lit up by these bed bugs.
Was it a bad hotel though, or just
it was not a good? I mean, I won't say the exact one, but it was a Super 8.
Yeah. I was like, you trying to protect them?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to throw the club.
Super 8 is not a place that you want to be. I don't like Super 8. I guess there could be a good one, but
there could be a good one. That's like Red Roof Inn. There could be some good ones.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Red Roof Inn has some that are like redone.
Yeah, you've told me that. I haven't seen those.
It's, the one I went to was in Midland, Texas, and that was the one that was redone. But you could occasionally get, one like the Courtyard Marriotts. Those can be either unreal or terrible.
That same Super 8 where it was Caleb Elliott got bed bugs.
He's starting to give up more and more.
Yeah, he's revealing the whole thing. I want to protect him. And
I don't want to give too much. You weigh 145 pounds. He goes, but
that same hotel, I stayed at that same hotel during COVID. They gave me one. There was one towel in the room, and I went down and I said, "Can I get another towel?" And they go, "Don't. We gave you one."
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'd like several." That's kind of one of the better parts of a hotel.
Yeah.
And they said, well, the way we're doing it now because of COVID, bring your dirty towel down and we'll give you a clean one. in exchange.
Oh, that's
COVID.
right.
They use COVID. for
Y'all are the
everything.
only hotel in the world doing this.
Yeah.
I've never heard of
And that seems that how you. I thought that's how COVID got started. Was walking around with your dirty towel
Yeah.
Yeah.
and sending it on the front desk,
Yeah.
and then he slides it off the front
Yeah,
desk, and
yeah.
it rubs on the keys and the paper, and then they hand you the new towel.
Same hand hands you a new
hand,
towel.
your new towel. And then he rubs his head and he goes, God, when are we going to stop doing this towel stuff anymore? And then he's like, next. And then just, how you doing?
Hands them
Hands
keys.
him keys. You collect the keys, bring them back to a super spreader event.
Yeah. Now it's on the
Now
podcast.
it's on the podcast.
Oh man. Have you ever accidentally taken something from the hotel room that you weren't supposed to? Like took it home with you? Or stole it?
I've told one hotel I was going to take their pillow, but I forgot to do it. Their pillow was so good. I actually I might have taken them one pillow from a hotel,
Yeah.
but I think they knew about it. And the more I think about that, that probably wasn't good.
I mean, when I was younger, I used to steal the towels all the time. Like
Yeah.
that was the thing. It felt like you go to the hotel and it's like that's what you do.
Yeah, you've never seen an indoor place. So
right. We're
I've taken towels, like not a ton, like it's occasional, like or something. I mean, barely if I haven't done it much.
I mean, I used to rake in all the shampoos and soaps. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
keeping,
yeah.
and then I'm like, what? I got
That
to
stuff's
drawer it.
allowed.
It is a lot, but it's like, why? Why
Yeah.
are we taking all
Yeah,
this?
A roll of toilet paper, throw that in the suitcase.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh,
they
look at
got
that.
an extra
Yeah.
roll there. You figure that's factored in probably in what I paid for this room.
They thought this guy would
Yeah.
go through 2 rolls.
Yeah.
of toilet paper.
Here they go.
They see me walk
Yeah,
in.
they walk. Golly. He's about to ask for 7 towels. Let me guess. And they just give you toilet paper too. And you're like, "Well, I didn't ask for that." He goes, "Come on, man." He goes, "Come on."
Look
You
at
go,
yourself.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah.
I thought this was my toilet paper. I
Yeah.
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 I didn't know this, but a lot of hotels track their towels. They put a microchip in their towels, and they know where their towels go. And if you
Is
take
that
it,
true?
well,
I don't believe that.
well, all right.
If they can put
How
how
much
according
money
to this?
would that? There's no way it's worth the money to microchip a towel that it would cost just to buy the towel.
It's got to be a good towel.
Yeah, it's got to be. Like, I don't see how there's.
Or microchips are a lot cheaper than I've been led to believe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, these are the cheap kind of guests. But it says 2,000 hotels do this. And
Whoa.
they may they're not going to follow you home to get it, but they may put it on your bill if you take it home with you.
I think it's there's part of thinks it's a lie.
He may-
And then where are you microchipping? How
I could
hard
see a
that is gonna be.
robe. I could see a robe. You know, you ever been in
Even a
nice
better
hotel?
way
A
to
little more
do it is
expensive.
just go in the room and go, we left 4. There's only 3 here now.
Yeah.
They said 20% of hotel linens was just disappearing, not just for people stealing it, for just various things. The staff, it just disappear, and they was cost them so much money. They started tracking them by putting these little chips on them.
Oh.
I think the staff's who you got to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
They're taking those things home.
I don't know.
You got to say, yeah. I think I'd rather a towel from an older hotel than a newer hotel.
Why is that?
I think sometimes the newer hotels, they're like too new, or like if you go stay somewhere nice and it's like they don't dry off. Like a nice beaten up towel
Yeah.
is what dries you off. Like you use your towels, it's like you want them. Laura bought these fancy towels and we started trying to use them. And I mean, it was like, well, I'll just get back in the shower and dry off.
Yeah.
Because it was pointless.
They're so
It just
fluffy.
rubs it around.
It rubs
almost.
it, it just smears on you,
Yeah.
and you go. I'd rather. There's no reason for this. It's some of the worst towels I've ever seen in my
You
life.
got to break them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, but it's never going to break in. You'd have to wash them 100 times.
You want a little bit like sandpaper, like it. Like
You want a
it
little
gets
bit,
work
you know.
done.
Yeah.
Well,
You get out of the
yeah.
bathroom, you're bleeding a little bit. You're like,
Right.
you know,
Like a
you want a
cheap
little.
hotel.
It's not a bad thing. You're the driest you've ever been in your life.
I did a club in Columbus, Georgia, and they put me at a hotel like that, doors to the parking lot, and the towels were like sandpaper.
Sorry, I know this exact hotel.
Yeah,
that you're
the
talking
coffee pot.
Don't
I don't
wanna
know
say
why I thought I was going to make coffee, but it was just a shell. It was just there was no mechanical things inside of it.
Yeah.
And then there were 2 hand towels thrown over the shower where the last person had just thrown them up there, and they didn't see those in the cleaning. There was a sweet and sour packet on the
Yeah.
floor when I
Oh,
checked
oh,
in.
yeah.
I think the staff was just in there eating lunch,
Yeah.
and then they just dropped it, and they were like, "Ah, these people don't care."
Yeah.
Is that Econo Lodge?
I think so. I don't
Yeah.
remember what, but it was connected to whatever
He's
the
got
loft
You
was.
might have. You have the key for it.
That's probably
I
a
probably
physical.
do.
That's probably
Yeah.
a real key, a
Yeah.
physical key.
Yeah. What happens if you get a physical key?
Then I don't put it in. I've only gotten
Yeah.
that a couple times.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't stay.
Are you
at
gonna
that
know how to
hotel.
find this real quick?
I'm
Or
gonna find it real quick.
okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna take
fell
a
out.
lot of time.
I don't know if on 40 minutes you're over there reading your.
Yeah, if it's a real key.
Where did
you don't-
Aaron go during the podcast? I don't know.
Yeah.
Try to find an
I'll talk to you on a little bit.
Econo Lodge. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I've stayed at that hotel twice, and it's. I mean, there was like a guy hanging out of his door like all night, halfway out. Like I felt like he was like, looking for the drug deal or whatever.
But don't you
know
kind
what
of
I mean?
want that if you're out there smoking cigars?
I like it a little bit shady. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I want people to be okay with me smoking cigars outside,
Yeah.
but not, joining me.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You don't hear them.
Yeah.
You don't hear them in your room searching your pocket for change. In the middle of the night.
Right.
You're like, well, that's too much.
Yeah. Yeah. I like a little shady.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to look like the worst one at the hotel.
Yeah.
And sometimes I am.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine. I like to see you go. No luck.
Nah, I gave up pretty
Yeah.
quick.
When a hotel's
Uh,
too fancy, I'm like, I don't even want this. Put me next to the airport.
Yeah. See, I can see the future. In the future, I knew we were not going to get this card, and you were just going to waste the time of looking for it. There's no, like, unless you knew the date or something,
Yeah,
there's no,
I have a ballpark idea of
yeah.
when it happened.
And then you got, what
I'll
is
look in
the
my journal.
outcome?
You're
What
right.
is- yeah. What
Not-
is it?
not great-
I trust him finding it
Yeah.
before.
that's probably true.
Yeah.
It's not great podcasting for sure. I
Looking
apologize
through,
for that. Looking
yeah.
through a binder for a visual
Yeah.
that meant nothing.
Trade his hotel key cards. And goes,
You-
that's what the binder. If anybody's at home, like, what's his binder look like? It looks like a baseball card.
Yeah.
collection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his baseball card sleeves.
Yeah.
The thing about that hotel was the guy running the front desk, real hip, young dude, and the front desk, very nice. They had it really fixed up.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
But once you leave that front and go to the back, I mean, it just gets worse the further
Yeah.
you go back.
Well, the people that go there, stay there, all have mullets, and their life is like that. So the top looks
Right.
good, and then the back looks a little wild.
That's true.
and
That is
so
true.
they
Feel
know
at home.
you feel at home because you walk in, you go, yeah, the front is nice. Like I
Yeah.
take a picture, I can hide it, I can wear a tuxedo, looks amazing. But as I walk by, you're like, I'm pretty good time too, and I might go through your closet, and so
That's what the hotel should be called. The Mullet.
the mullet,
The mullet.
The Mullet Lodge.
it's good in the front, bad in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you want to stay? Front or back? I'd like to stay in the
The
front.
front, yeah. And the level would be if it's a full mullet, it's good. But if you're like, what's the back? You're like, it's a rat tail. And you're like, oh no, that's gonna be a real bad
Yeah,
one.
that's where the real party's at, but
Yeah.
you won't make it out of it.
You won't make it out of there. Yeah. Yeah. It's the hotels are, I mean,
I don't want to be at a hotel
I've
where they're like,
become
you can't
crazy.
smoke out here.
yeah.
You know, and not at all in the city. I've had that before. Like, there's no. I tried to buy a cigar in New York City, and I was like, "Can I just go somewhere and smoke?" He's like, "You can't smoke at all in the city." And I
Oh
was
really?
"Oh,
Like even
okay."
walking around?
Yeah,
You get a real big one or a little one?
somewhere in between. I don't like one that's like, "What's going
Yeah.
on here?" But
Yeah.
I don't want to look
Well,
like,
like
I'm smoking a-
Vecchione smokes little ones. And like so you could probably do a
Oh,
little
yeah.
one. You know.
I don't like a little one that looks like a cigarette.
Yeah.
Or like what are those cloves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to go a clove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you're doing is very cool.
Well, it is very cool, but I agree with that.
I'd always wondered what happened to the hotel soap that we used just a little bit, and what do
Yeah.
they do with it? There's an organization called Clean the World that collects all the hotel soaps. They melt them down and repurpose them and send them to like third world countries and places in need that
Don't have soap. So
Don't
they're
have soap.
using our old soap.
Well, I guess they melt it down, and I mean the soap that we used was, I guess, went on our bodies, and
Yeah.
I always wondered, could soap be dirty? Right? Because you have
Yeah.
a bar of soap, but if you give it a once over,
Yeah. Jay Moore.
more soap.
Jay Moore had a very funny joke about that a long time ago
About soap never
on
being
his
dirty.
special. It might be one of his big jokes about like you better hope it's saying it's magical.
Yeah.
And I it probably was dirty. I don't remember, but it was it's like you're washing like your underarms and then you go in behind your dad and you wash your face with that soap. Like you better hope it's magical.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Because you're all using the same soap, and so I mean, yeah, I guess if they give it, give it to third world countries.
yeah, I think they melt it down and repurpose it and kind of. But it's just it.
I mean,
So-
you could feel like we could, if it's clean and it works, you could just reuse it for us too. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I think they should just put it back in the wrapper.
there's a lot of
Seal it up.
yeah. There's I think they do that. You ever see you got the conditioner bottle or something like that?
Yeah.
There, it's not all the way full. You're like, they ain't changing that out.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
but I use because I do lotion. Now I bring my own lotion. But I'm a big lotion guy. I put lotion on multiple times a day. And then and conditioner. And I always want conditioner. And they stopped giving lotion at a lot of places.
At hotels,
You can ask for it. Some of them. Yeah.
they stop putting it out by default.
Yeah, and then some of them you would ask, and then it's like they were just like got rid of it. I'm sure COVID. They probably just say something.
Yeah.
Well, COVID, and you're rubbing it on you're like, what?
Can I tell you, if I could change two things about hotels, it would be one, just put the shampoo and the conditioner in the shower.
Yeah, I like that.
It's always by the sink,
yeah,
and you're like, well, who's shampooing at the sink?
yeah.
You gotta
Just-
carry
yeah.
it from the,
Yeah,
the
I
sink
mean,
to the shower.
it's a lot of
You
steps.
forget, yeah, and you forget, and then the floor is wet. Yeah. No, I
that's true.
understand.
Yeah,
it.
it's
It's
a
true,
lot.
but I've seen
It's-
some people do that, and then some. I know what you mean.
Yeah, just have it, and
Yeah,
the other thing, and this is a change of the subject a little bit. I don't understand why we have to make the bed. You have to tuck it in so tight.
yeah,
I understand it looks nice, but I've about sprained an ankle trying to kick my feet
yeah,
up, packed in the
yeah. So there's a whole Seinfeld episode about this. Do you know that?
no.
Yeah.
Tucker
So
untucked.
Tucker, yeah, George Sanja asked. He wants his untucked,
Okay.
and Jerry wants his whatever the normal way it is.
Yeah.
And so, and then it's a whole. They ask. him,
Okay.
But like they're. It is because why is it so tight? And
Yeah, yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can. I mean, I think you could probably say, don't or you don't. You get your room clean the whole time.
No, I've
Twice
only,
a day.
I've I've only done that like once. I've only had my room clean like once.
Oh, I get
I always
mine
just do not
clean
disturb.
every time.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
every
I
day?
like every day. I like it. You come back, it's like a brand new hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and so,
I like it to feel lived in a little bit.
huh? Oh, it's lived in. It's the most lived in.
It's
like
lived
to-
in, baby.
I don't like to be reminded of how lived in it is. I have a problem sleeping on the bed when you can feel the body. You can feel where most
Oh,
people
yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you're going to notice it and you never go back. Everybody will notice now. But when you go one side, it's like you rolled into like a little valley and you're like, that's where it's usually the side in front of the TV, the obvious side.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the side you're going to pick it without even realizing it. And
You just nuzzle right up in there.
yeah, but
Just
like,
get comfortable,
you
like
pick-
the
but then
bed's
go on
hugging
the
you.
other side, and then as you climb up that hill and you come up, you got like what's that rope called? When you go, what's it? Rock
Rappel?
climbing? Yeah, rappel.
Uh-huh.
Something like that.
Like you got to,
Rapunzel.
yeah, but you're like when you get up that road. I mean, sometimes it's a climb.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have to use muscles to get out of that valley just to get to the top. And so once you notice that, that's hard to sleep on that side because you just are like, golly, man, thousands and thousands of people that the bed is deformed into this is where they sleep.
Mm.
And sometimes you care somebody, and then I mean, it wake you up. You roll over in the middle of the night, and you take a little dive down to the valley, and you get a little
Face first.
brief fall. Just golly, I felt you settle down in the bottom.
In the pesticide world, we used to sell bed bug killer.
Yeah.
And so we would have these annual meetings, and some of these real insane guys would bring their own bed bug killer with them. And they would just get real intense about it. They would be telling everybody how to lift up the sheets and look at the mattress. And it's just like, I don't think it's that serious, right?
Yeah.
It happens, obviously.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Talk to Mike Vecchione. Mike Vecchione had to move out of his house because of bed bugs.
yeah,
10 years ago, and he's still to this day. I mean, he goes into the bed, checks in his hotel, puts all his suitcase and everything in the bathtub,
Mhm.
gets completely naked, and then does his check for bed bugs. Every hotel he goes to.
wow.
He calls to see if they have bed bugs. He also says he asks, he goes, can I get one of the rooms that doesn't have bed bugs? In some hotels, you say that, and they're like, none of them have them. You give the guy $20, and then he's like, all right. And then so you could, they're like, just a room that hasn't had them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they know the rooms that have had them and had not had them. and he's crazy
Wow.
about it.
I read that most people put their luggage on their bed as soon as they walk in a hotel room, but they said don't do that because if there is bed bugs, then now they're in your luggage and you'll bring them home with you.
Mhm.
They said put your luggage. What he does, put it in the bathroom.
I put it on the luggage rack.
Yeah, it said don't even do that.
They're on the luggage rack.
It said just inspect.
Could be, man.
Expect
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, yeah.
I
yeah.
think you can't escape it. They're
I
gonna
think
get
it's
you,
one of
they're gonna
those
get
that
you.
you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if it's going to happen, it's because it's you can't just you got to fly in a day early to do your
Bug check.
recon on the
Yeah.
bed bugs. Like,
Yeah, when I was a kid, bed bugs was just a prayer that we said before bed. You remember that?
Yeah.
Sleep tight, don't let the bed
Yeah.
bugs bite.
Yeah.
And then now, I didn't even. We acted like it was a joke. They weren't
Yeah.
even a real thing.
I
And
know.
now all of a sudden,
they're
it's
real.
like we spoke them into
Well,
existence.
have you had them before, Dusty?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
your
He might
tone,
not-
your
he
tone's
would-
going to change.
Well,
as soon
I'm
as you
not
get 'em.
saying
he
I
would maybe
want
never
them.
know if he's had them.
Well, that's true.
Dusty,
I have been bitten up by chiggers before and fleas.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll get you.
they'll
Yeah.
get you for sure. It's terrifying. I've had bed bugs at my house once, and you start reading about them, and they're terrifying. They don't come out until they know you're asleep,
Yeah.
so they're hard to like draw out to see that they're there.
you don't just fake snore. Why don't you Why don't you lay in bed and get a gnat that snores, and you lay there
With what I
and all your
open.
clothes on, and then you see him like come out, and he's like, "I think he's asleep." Because he's snoring. He's snoring. He's got his sleep apnea on. So you get the mask
CPAP
on.
machine on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's
CPAP
out.
on.
Yeah.
He's out, dude. He's out. You know how he gets. Let's go out. And then you're like, I'm not asleep.
Yeah,
And then what would you do?
I don't know. Stab him or something. I don't know.
You
What
guys-
do you-
What did y'all do? Move?
No, you just throw the mattress out. You just start
Oh.
over. But you're just worried about it. They're all in my clothes now. They're in the carpet. You can't see them.
They got foggers. I think you just fog the
You
house.
can
out.
fog. You can fog the house. That's a lot of.
Just fog it out.
Then they're just dead in your house.
That's true.
Yeah.
Then they're just kind of dead.
But it's a
somewhere.
reminder to any new bed
Yeah.
bugs that come along. They're like, oh, this
We're
has
not
happened
afraid
before.
of fogging.
Yeah.
It's letting them know, like, this is what we do.
Keep a little fogger on the
Yeah.
nightstand.
Here you go.
Just, you
I'm
know,
used to it now. I'll
Yeah.
sleep with it.
a little light comes on. You're asleep, and
Yeah.
the light comes on just to let them know that is the future.
Like one of those Vic rubs or whatever. Those
Vapor Vic?
Vapor. The you sleep with a
yeah.
purifier or whatever. You like ours is just a straight up fog.
Yeah. Yeah.
He goes, I'm so
Yeah.
used to it.
No eucalyptus in this.
Yeah.
It's straight fogger.
Yeah. You will get a headache at my house.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
lose your vision.
Yeah.
if you stay for
Yeah.
too long. But
Yeah. You won't taste and you're going to be an inch shorter, but welcome to the show. Because now, no bed bugs. I promise you. Like, so much so that they're, yeah.
In Myrtle Beach, we used to sell a ton of bed bug killer.
Yeah.
I mean, a ton of it. So it was none in Hilton Head. I saw somebody mention they were in Hilton Head.
yeah.
No bed bug killer down there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Didn't move.
Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, of the
Yeah.
two of you, I would have guessed Dusty would have been more likely the one that had bed bugs.
Well, I think Dusty could currently live with them.
Yeah, we just got to make a friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
You like, listen, we don't all have a place to live right now.
Yeah.
Let's come together.
Well, bed bug bites. That was tough to say. They
Yeah.
only show up on a certain number of people.
Yeah.
Like some people, he could be getting lit up every night and never know it because his
Immune
skin
to it,
doesn't
really.
react.
Yeah. I wonder if that's true. Like, if you grow up with no money and you grow up in like poor conditions. So you're just
Yeah.
used to it. Where Aaron comes from ivory blood.
Right.
And so he can't he just gets lit up because it's like his beautiful skin and rich blood can't even handle.
So you're in bed watching Frost Nixon,
Yeah.
and you're like, what is
And
that?
you're like, Tyler, you're just getting eaten up. And then
Yeah,
I'm in.
it's a
Yeah.
real princess in the
Then-
pea
then-
situation.
yeah. there's more bugs than bed.
I'm in bed
that he
eating
sleeps on.
watermelon.
Like he's, I mean, the bed bugs, that's where they don't.
It's just a bed of bugs.
It
It's just a
fills
bed-
that gap where everybody else has been
Yeah.
sleeping. It's
Yeah.
just it's bed bugs right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since the after the Las Vegas shooting, most hotels now, even if you put the "Don't Disturb" sign on your door, after 72 hours, they're going to go in, make sure everything's okay.
At least give them a heads up. Let them know what the hours are. That's smart.
I got 5 more hours to get this
But
done.
now they go.
Have you seen a weird guy check in with a bunch of weird bags, odd shaped bags? You're like, let's maybe just see what's happening with that. You know.
Well, he gets 3 days. What were you going to say?
Well, nowadays they'll say, "Hey, just so you know, we're not going to clean the room unless you ask
Yeah.
for it."
Yeah.
So I don't think they have enough people to be popping.
Yeah, they'll
in
put an
every
eco-friendly
72
sign
hours.
and say, "We're trying to preserve."
They'll give you points if you use the same towel or something.
Yeah,
Will they really?
Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah.
Oh.
They're trying to say we need saving water if you don't
Mhm.
wash stuff. Which I don't use all the towels. They're wearing me down with this water thing. It's like eventually you just start thinking about it and you're like, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I drink this. I got this like squeeze water bottle now, and then it's like you go to like not caring to then you just see it so much that you're like,
What do you mean exactly?
like you just think about it. Like you drink out of water bottle. I mean, I'm still not going. I still drink out of water bottles, but it's like I've started being like, well, let's maybe not try to have
Yeah.
water bottles. It just wears you
The
down.
plastic.
Yeah. Or any of it, like you left, lights on. Like I mean, I could walk out of a hotel room, have TV on, light on,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then you're like, oh, let me make sure I turned it off or didn't use
Our friend Bonnie Mitchell has a great joke when he's at a hotel. He turns the shower up, hot as it can go, AC up, cold as it can go, and just leaves.
Yeah.
because he can.
Yeah.
And he
That's
comes
funny.
back and there's like inclement weather in the hotel.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you get older, you just start to care about stuff.
Yeah, it
you're
could be
like-
that.
You're like,
Yeah.
I don't want to. There's no need to waste it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe it's that you're being wasteful.
You're like, I don't care. It ain't gonna hurt me, but
yeah.
I don't want to waste it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I read though, leave your TV on just to deter people breaking into your hotel room if they
Mm.
think you might be in there.
I would hope the whole hotel system would deter that.
I
Yeah.
know.
I mean, it's,
Yeah, if they,
I don't know if I don't know if you're in the right hotel when they're like, unlock your cars, consider whatever's in there is gone. I don't. What they say, you know what? I'll be honest, you just leave them unlocked so they won't break the windows. And I leave your TV on and lights on, and because one of you will get broken. They take groups of 20 up.
Yeah.
One of you will be visibly attacked tonight. So leave your TVs on, whatever, don't get your room clean. It could be an inside job. All right. Good luck, everybody. Thanks for staying at Marriott.
Well, that's what I feel about staying in, like letting people come in to clean the room, right? We're just assuming everybody's trustworthy.
But I get to the point, there's part, if they stole something, I'd be like, all right. Like there's part of me that's like, I don't know if I have anything in there that like, if they would be, it'd be like, you can have it.
I bring my Xbox on the road with me now.
Didn't you used to take a full computer with you on the
Yeah,
road?
before I had a laptop, I would take, I had a MacBook, or I had a Mac, I don't know what you call it, but
A real computer.
yeah, that I would take. I
Like
would
a
drive.
desktop.
Yeah, and I'd
Yeah.
set it up in there. Yeah, because I could get work done,
Mhm.
but I didn't have a laptop.
So you traveled with a big,
Oh yeah, I had a
you
whole
had to
setup.
plug it in and
Well, it was just the MacBook, so you
Yeah.
just got to plug or the Mac, so it wasn't like a tower too.
yeah.
But still, it was a lot. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I had
A
a
keyboard and mouse
Yeah.
with it too.
yeah, I had a full setup.
Yeah.
going. I mean, once it was a hassle, but once you got it set up, every time I was like, I'm glad I did this.
Yeah. And then you sent off an email and
Yeah.
said,
Done.
can I get a non-smoking room? Then you get, where are the doors at in this? You're asking the club. Hey, just curious question. Where are the doors at on this hotel? Are they in the parking lot or are they not in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like, I've been to so many bad hotels. I've been to hotels where they're like, oh, the elevator's not working this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I just had that with, I talked about the airport and they have so much escalator problems.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
is happening?
Which airport?
It was when I came home, Nashville was,
Yeah.
and then when I was in Phoenix, I left my iPad on a plane this past weekend. I ended up going on PXG had. I went to Scottsdale, did something with PXG, and then but then I left my iPad on a plane. I've been tracking it, and it was like it's it says it's still at the Phoenix airport. It's not. No one's found it.
Yeah.
And then one time we were finding, I was like, right when I get back to the airport, I was gone 24 hours. I get back to Phoenix airport. I'm tracking it, and I'm like, it's still here. So I go ask and trying to find it, and then and then I'm like, I know it's here. Then I watched it, and it looked like it was like under the runway.
Mhm.
And so they're like, that looks like where the cleaning's at. Like, so I guess there's cleaning something under the runway. I don't know. So we're calling, no one tracks it. And then it was like, I mean, literally like 30 minutes later, I'm like, now it's in like, 20 minutes from Phoenix's airport. I'm like, and I was like, almost like, I'm gonna maybe call this, like, cause it was next to it was an auto shop.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm gonna call this auto shop. Maybe they have it. And then it was in California. I was like, oh, it's on the plane. Like it's on. But I mean, he was like, I was like, I wonder if I drove down there and like, and said like, hey,
Confronted him.
well, yeah. I mean, I literally thought this.
I know you
And
got my
then it's
laptop
just
here.
in California. And they're like, well, now I bet
You
it's
kick
on
open
the
the,
plane.
anyone here have an iPad by
Yeah,
chance?
because I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
DJ Auto Shop in Phoenix, you're going to tell me because look at this, and it's in Alaska, and you're like, well, how to get there?
Michelangelo car shop.
Yeah, and then, but the escalator, they had a thing was broke there. The down ones are being broke all the time. How I just don't understand.
I don't know what happens either. I mean, it just seems like it's just
Yeah.
running like
I
this.
think Americans are getting fatter. That's probably not helping.
No, I don't think that's it's metal. It's like it's a pretty
Well,
hard thing.
I've seen people do things to metal.
They are pretty rough
Yeah.
on an escalator, I bet, because
Oh,
people just get on there and they just stand. I mean, they
No,
stand,
I think the rough ones.
the walking sidewalks.
I think the fatter people are treating them better. They ride it. It's the yeah.
like it's a ride. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
Fat people
beating it up.
They're enjoying it.
They're enjoying
Fat
it.
people love
Yeah.
escalators.
I mean, I ride. I don't ride the walkway, but I'm saying like they're the ones taking the most care of it.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's the the ones that are stopping and going. Like as you see a lot of that where I got caught behind a group that they like stopped to ride it, and then I mean this one girl. I got off and was like, I'll just walk down the middle because I think it'll be quicker.
Mhm.
And then she passed me on it. You're like, well, you were camping out on the last one
Yeah.
oh yeah,
and not moving, and now you're sprinting on it. Like,
yeah.
so that person goes from being a nightmare to a nightmare that passes just 50 people.
Yeah.
I can't handle hanging out on the moving sidewalk.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't handle it.
Yeah, it's like sometimes there's
Who
a
has
side.
that? Like
I have that much time.
you got even if you have that much time, why
Yeah,
do you want to
I'll tell
spend
you-
it
I'll tell you who
there?
has that much time at an airport. You're looking at him right there. That guy's never walked on anything moving in his life.
But why would you want to spend it there? At least get to a seat
Ask him.
and then sit down.
He's right there.
You know
Ask
what I
him.
mean?
Why would you want to spend it there?
Do you stand on the moving sidewalk?
No, I walk.
Do you walk slow though?
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
run. I don't
Yeah.
pick up a pace. Yeah.
I
don't-
like to go as fast as possible. I find it like so fun to pass people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a game for me.
Yeah. I like I walk on it. I don't walk down the stairs like unless I was in a big hurry. But if escalator down, I just ride it.
Okay.
Unless I'm in like,
But you
no
stay to
one
the
was
right.
on it. Yeah, I would stay. I'd get outraged. I'm aware of what's going on around me.
Yeah,
I
some
think
people are not. It is
That's
Yeah.
the difference.
wild.
Some
Yeah.
people, they
It
just
happens
kinda,
that you don't.
they just
but
kind of
it's-
live like
yeah.
this.
No.
And-
I mean, that was the whole cow incident. It was something about that's what I got in trouble saying being aware. But it's like if you're aware, your life becomes super easy because you just watch it. I just saw it again somewhere. It was golly, what was it? Even just ways to go in somewhere. There's like just like there was we went to church this past Sunday. And so we haven't done it forever, and we need, of course, need to be going and never home. But even my buddy that I went with, he was like, "Go this other way. No one really goes in this way." And it was very easy to get in and out that other way. And you're like, "Well, everybody goes in the main way." And you're even like little stuff is like kind of like
I love you for church. In and out. They're real quick. Won't have to see anybody.
No,
it's not about not seeing anybody. It's just no one wants to. What you're like, unless you're rooting for traffic, which I believe you are. It's the idea of just saying.
Are you talking
like,
about in your car?
yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking walking in. Or like
Even
a side
walking
entrance.
in, like you could just be like, you become in the side. It's easy. No one's there. We
Yeah.
get to our seat, and then I don't care about seat. I saw plenty of people. This is the first time in this church. I saw a lot of people, and then But it's not about seeing. I like walking. I don't even mind walking in. I like, it's like, but I'm just saying, like,
I hate to be in a line.
most people don't want to be in a line.
I hate
I would
to be in a
imagine. I
line.
don't. You
Yeah.
like a line.
No.
So people beat me into a burrito restaurant. They ran all
Yeah.
fast to beat me in there, and then they had like 10 orders.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, I
God.
got a quick thing here. Why did
Yeah.
you? They like ran. They saw I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
a kid, and they ran in.
It's always like the receptionist at a nursing place.
Yeah.
and they got like 15 orders.
They're all
Yeah.
hardcore looking.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They're just bending over the thing, pointing.
Yeah, yeah.
Over
Yeah,
the
they
glass.
never, like, if you have that and there's a single behind you,
Yeah,
then
you let 'em
you go, hey, you should go ahead. But there's a point you got to stop it. So I understand too. Like, they can't be like, all right, well, I'm not going to ever get this order in unless if I keep letting people through.
Yeah.
But that's the balance that you play in your head and you think about every situation with a lot. Put a lot of effort in. But that's also people have jobs and they have kids and they don't have time as a comedian like us to worry about
It's
this
true.
kind of thing.
That's true.
So I understand that. Like, our job is literally to only worry about that kind of thing.
yeah,
So I'm hyper focused on all of this when other people are, and we're doing it so much,
right.
The reason they use white bed sheets is they say it gives a halo effect and makes the room seem more new and brighter. And also, the towels are white, so they can put them all in the same washing machine.
See, I always thought that was so that they couldn't hide stains.
Well,
like
I think they want to hide
Like
stains.
if you, but they don't. Like you shouldn't be able to hide. Like if
I
you had-
stayed in one; they weren't hiding them.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I called. That's the only time. I would just sleep to the other side. You would do all this stuff, and this one was like, well, this is taking over half the bed.
Was it blood? Or-
It looked. I did a joke about it.
Yeah.
I forget what the joke was, but it
They
looked
said,
like
how big was it?
yeah,
The stain.
yeah. And what was the joke? It was
And you're like, I just thought they would handle it, but
Yeah.
but maybe they're right.
oh yeah, yeah. That's not a bad joke.
Yeah.
I could do. Yeah, I could bring it back. They were like, how big's the stain? And then I said, there's a stain on the bed, and they didn't say okay. They said, how big is it? And I was like, maybe they got a point. Like,
yeah.
if it's like maybe I'm dealing with stains at this hotel, then the idea that they're like, I don't know, the size of a baseball, you're lucky. Maybe there's the whole room's a stain.
that's
and
the
then you're
good
like,
sheets.
Yeah,
You got
you're
the
like
good ones.
Yeah, it's like count your blessings.
Yeah, if there's a murder
something
scene.
like that.
But I don't. Yeah, I think that's it though. If you have blue towels, navy blue
Yeah, what
towels,
was it was a
Yeah, like if they just clean up a murder scene, then that's a pretty good job.
oh yeah.
Mm.
You're judging a stain on what happened in the room to get the stain. If it was like a horror movie in there, and they get it down to like the size of a like a garbage trash can,
Yeah.
then you're like, I'm actually pretty
yeah,
impressed.
you
This
should have
room's
seen
actually
it before.
this room's the most clean. So now I want the room with the stain because y'all have done the most work to it, and I'll just avoid that one
Oh.
spot.
Yeah, we can get you some other sheets, but we can't promise they'll be better.
Yeah.
Probably worse.
Yeah. Maybe try to. Yeah.
I think if you checked in a hotel and they had black sheets, it would be like, oh no.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
that
Like,
would be rough.
Yeah, black sheets, black towels. You'd be like, you're hiding
Well,
something.
you ever
Yeah.
use a toilet that's a different color
Yeah.
than white?
Yeah.
I like it. I'm a fan. of it.
Yeah, they do. Some hotels have a black toilet,
Yeah.
and then but it's like you feel like something's going on.
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't trust everybody. It's being
The Looney Bin condo in Oklahoma City has like a green toilet.
mhm.
Oh,
Straight
yeah.
up. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
different.
odd. Yeah.
Yeah.
I stayed at a comedy condo once where it was just so bad, and I got there and they had forgotten to clean it for the weekend, and it was still the last person's stuff there. So I thought, good, finally they're going to put me in a hotel room. So I called and said, hey, this wasn't cleaned. And he's like, all right, let me send somebody over there. And the guy's owner's wife came over and looked at it, and she said, we'll get this cleaned while you're on stage tonight.
Oh,
So-
jeez.
I already had my stuff in there, but while I was on stage, they were cleaning it up, and they were not going to let me go to a hotel.
Yeah. Mm.
Wow. Don't relax. Okay. Don't relax today. You will clean it while you're over there tonight.
Comedy condos that's the price you got to pay. That's the price of admission to be a comedian.
Yeah.
And it's like, and some of them are going, I guess it's going away more than it was back than the way it was, but that's like, yeah, that's your like, kind of, you got to get to, and the hotels that you have to stay in.
There's one in it's called Newport News, Virginia, and it's like a townhouse, and there's an older lady. She lives on the bottom floor.
Mhm.
There's no bedroom on the bottom floor. She sleeps in a recliner. She lives downstairs, and then upstairs is the 2 bedrooms that you
Wow.
stay in. And it's like the last time I was there, it's like they stopped updating it in 1985. VCRs up there.
Yeah.
The bed, you talk about an imprint. It's sunk in. No Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And you just come in and say hey to this lady like it's your grandmother
Yeah.
every time. And she just sleeps in the living. It feels like elder abuse, really.
Yeah.
Because you're just like,
You want a bed or something?
yeah, she sleeps in a recliner. And I'm like, I'm going to go up and get in the bed.
Yeah.
And
Can you? You can't watch TV down there.
no, well, I guess you could if you wanted to watch with
If you
her
wanted to hang out with her.
Mhm.
and watch what she's
But it's just
watching
an older
Matlock.
woman with the bunch of Ohio State football merchandise.
Does she get up and
Yeah.
like answer the door and stuff? She walk around like
It's her house.
she's active. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I like picture you just laying there.
She'll come to the club.
Yeah.
She'll come down there, but it's so strange.
I bet she has. I bet some comics it's like fun. Like if she drinks or something. Like I bet that would be like
She might
just-
have years ago.
Like, how old is she?
She's in her 70s, right?
Yeah.
For
Probably.
anywhere from 50 to 85.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
tough to tell
Yeah.
with some people.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like an old grandmother, like on the road, like you
Yeah.
go in there but she doesn't like make you food or anything. Or,
No.
No.
She's very nice, but you go, "Hey, I'm here." She goes, "All right," and then that's really about it.
Yeah.
There was one in the Outer Banks of North Carolina where the 2 people that booked the comedy club in a hotel conference room, it was their house that you stayed at. So you stayed there with them, and you're downstairs, and they're above you in like a loft. So
Oh.
every time the phone rings for somebody to try to make a reservation, which was not that often, you would hear the guy answer the phone. His dog's tail would hit the floor. It was
Yeah.
like knocking.
And
And
so, but yeah, how could they not get a room for free?
I don't know. That's what
Yeah.
I said too. You get the whole show is in a hotel
Yeah.
conference room,
Yeah.
and I'm staying with you.
Yeah. Why does that? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's
it's
crazy.
like, but in my hometown there was a restaurant called like Our Place or something. So when I saw on the itinerary that the hotel was Our House, in my mind I just thought, well, that's going to be a hotel called Our House.
Yeah.
And it was straight up their house.
Yeah. You realizing that
Yeah.
as you open the door and you go, "What's that? You guys stay down here and we're gonna be upstairs." And it's a loft. Like they can't even shut the door.
No, not to their room. To my room, you can.
Oh, okay.
But it's still, you can hear everything. And
Yeah.
every time you go out of the room, they're like in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Like
Yeah.
the guy had a stroke, but he's like bumming cigarettes off the feature
Yeah.
the whole time. And I'm like, this doesn't
Yeah.
seem right.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then they had a deck, but then the next year I did it, they were Airbnb in half the house. So the deck went to the Airbnb people. So I
Wow.
wasn't even allowed out on the deck.
So I mean, these people have. There's 3 different groups of people staying at this house.
Yeah.
It's them, the openers, or the comics, and then the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Man.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. That's like some of those Airbnbs you can get. It's like people are renting out anything. They have any kind of open space.
Especially like New York City.
Yeah, they're like, you
yeah.
can stay here, $50 a night, or
Closets
$100
and
a night.
stuff.
And
In
you're
the
like,
closet.
yeah, you're like, people are just like, you're like, that's crazy. You got to share a bathroom with like just a stranger every week.
Have you ever done home exchange?
No, what's that?
That's where they come and stay at your place and you stay at their place.
Oh, just to switch it up
Yep.
for a night? Have you done that before?
I've done it twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Here in town? Like in Nashville?
Yeah, when I lived not where I live now, so the squirrels weren't an issue. My
Yeah.
condo, and then I twice stayed in New York City. did it for 2 weeks one time.
Yeah, you don't do like I think you're saying just switch it up like you would just go, hey, I live in,
Oh,
East
no.
Nashville, you live downtown. Let's just swap
Yeah.
up for the
No,
weekend.
a different city.
Oh, okay.
He went to New York.
Yeah,
All right.
And
That
the
makes
person was like,
way
I'll go to
more
Nashville.
sense.
Yeah.
right.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
fun, Brian.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Yeah.
you do it.
I
Wanna
want to
swap
see
it up?
what's it like to live off Bradley Parkway.
yeah.
I want to see if I want to do that or not.
One thing that's going away from hotels is Gideon Bibles. Gideon Bibles used to be in every hotel room, but now millennials are the least religious group going, and they're trying to attract more millennial travelers, so they're taking them out of hotel rooms.
You people are not going to hotels because
Yeah.
the Bible will be there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's like I would think that's who they don't even know.
Yeah.
They don't even know. There's no way that's a problem. I mean, no one's even if you're a Christian, I don't think you're like
Yeah.
I wouldn't. But truthfully, I wouldn't realize if they took them and didn't do them.
Right.
Mhm.
So, but it's
Now the Gideons say a quarter of the people stay at hotel rooms look at their Bible.
well,
that
there's no way
seems pretty high.
that seems high. They don't know
Little
if they
chip
know
in
that.
there.
They're probably just saying that.
Put a chip in the Bible.
Yeah.
They go, "How do you know?" You go, "We're in every room." You go, "What?" And you go,
Who are the Gideons? What are they up? What are they up to?
I tried to be a Gideon one time.
Of course you did.
I went to a church fair, and they were asking about these different jobs. And it was like, you could go hand out Gideon's Bibles. And I was like, oh, well, I'll do that then. And the guy was like, well, he was like, because I waited tables. He was like, you can't do it if you serve alcohol and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I was like,
Oh.
oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm the only one talking to your table right now.
Yeah.
And you're rejecting me.
"Yeah."
That's
It's
hilarious.
so free. You would do it.
I don't know. I tried to sign up and then he rejected me. So I was just trying to get in on the Gideon action. I thought,
Yeah.
like it's a job.
yeah, like I was trying to, figure out a way to be helpful.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to volunteer my time, but I didn't know if there was money involved. But
Yeah.
I was walking through this church fair and it just didn't seem like anything was interesting to me.
Well, I'd imagine if you're like you're trying to be helpful, and if there's restrictions to why you can't help, that's not a good sign.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it should be open,
Yeah.
and so that's yeah.
Like I can't imagine someone stopping me from putting Bibles in a hotel going, do you serve alcohol on the
Yeah.
weekends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would think that you drink it on the weekends,
Yeah. Yeah.
probably, and you show up with a Gideon. You have this hair.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I may have had that at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you get it seems like I think you might, not rightfully so, but you get a lot of just like, Adam, we don't want this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean,
Just too much of a problem.
Yeah.
yeah. They don't know what I'm up to.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You walk into
Yeah.
higher end stores, you look like you can't afford anything.
Yeah,
there.
I've been followed around a few places.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Gideon was a character in the Bible.
Okay.
And then Gideon International is just helping
A character.
a person in the Bible.
Yeah. That's just funny. Jesus was the main character.
Yeah.
Gideon was like another character.
Gideon's like later seasons.
Later season, you didn't see him much. It's a good part. A lot of speaking lines.
Yeah.
But really spawned quite the organization,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
But did a spinoff, and it was like Frasier. It was like the Frasier's. It really.
Some say even better.
Some say even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it didn't end until the millennials got in
Yeah.
and were like, we don't want to
That's
stay.
enough.
They're
Yeah.
like, does this room have bed bugs?
Yeah.
Does it have a Bible?
Yeah.
The dirtiest item in a hotel room. You guys want to
The
guess?
remote.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
What?
Huh.
What'd you think? It was gonna be alarm clock?
The toilet seat, something like that. I guess the toilet seat's cleaned right.
They clean
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Why don't they clean the remote if we know?
Well, they put it in that bag now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I think it's like
It'll
I
be-
don't. I guess you could leave it. A lot of people do that. Where they use the remote and put
Oh.
it
Through
in
the
the bag.
bag.
But I
I
don't-
need to feel it.
I don't. Yeah, I need to feel it too.
Yeah. I always said this that I think I can. You hand me any remote,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just know where everything is on it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Just
can
feel
just-
it
Without
out.
looking, or you could figure
Without
it out?
looking, I just
Oh, really?
I can just feel it
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Feel it out.
yeah. I could
Volume
see.
up, volume down. I just kind of feel where it's at.
I used to think I could pick people's silverware out where they keep it in their kitchen, and I thought. I mean, I was like pretty great at it.
You
and
can
I-
tell which drawer it's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you give it to me, I could figure it out which ways. But I think I'm losing it a little bit. I still do it sometimes privately. I don't really tell the people I'm doing it, but
Yeah.
I'll just as I walk in the kitchen, I'm like, let me see if I still got it. And I think it's just the game's changed so much.
Yeah.
Passed
The
you by.
kitchens are so crazy
Yeah.
that you're like, I live on another planet.
Right. If
And
they
I
got
don't-
an island or something, you're like, this is too.
Yeah.
This is too much.
I can't find my own at times. I'll open the wrong one, and you're like, God, that's right.
Mhm.
It's over here.
It is funny to live somewhere for years and then go like to look for a cup and open the wrong cabinet. It's
Mhm.
like, what's going on that you're opening? Why do you think cups are in here?
Yeah.
They've never been in here.
I
Yeah.
just moved them all around at my house. My wife was not happy with it. I
Oh.
moved them all around
Yeah.
because I think it's a better system now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be
You
a
know,
good system.
It's got to be. You like change, maybe though.
Well, it's pretty minimal work to really feel like you're.
Yeah.
Oh, I did chores all day, but I didn't really do.
Yeah,
much.
yeah. But you could like change in the fact. I like change as well. But it's you're because there might not be a perfect system for you. I wonder if
Yeah.
there will ever be. Are you going to go? I bet we could mix it up and finally.
I'm already not happy with the system now.
Look at
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Look, like so.
Yeah.
I think you just like the change of it, and it's which is fun because
Yeah.
you get to mix stuff up. We were a big family. We moved. My parents' bedroom went from it was in the den because we just had a 2-bedroom house. So we had me and Derek, and then like at the beginning we had nothing, but we lived in a duplex, apartments, all this stuff. But when the first house they bought was a 2-bedroom house, so me and Derek, my brother, shared a room, and Abigail got her own room. She was, probably a baby, and so my parents, their room was there's only 2 bedrooms. Their room was the den, or they were the den for a while, and then they moved it into where the dining room table was. And so then they would all go in there. So they would just switch up like that. And I think it's made we've switched furniture up a lot, like because you kind of got to do it when you grow up and you don't have a big house. You don't have like nice things. Like the only way to feel something new is to mix it all up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, look at this. It's like a
Yeah.
new house. And people want to come see it. Like, let me see I'm going to go to your new house. And you're like, look at this. You're like, it's brand new.
Oh, it is true. And in the trailer, a trailer's you got a living room / kitchen thing going on. So we would put the couch sometimes to where it made that divide.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then other times you open it up.
Yeah.
But
Because it feels like a new house because you're living in such a small area.
Yeah.
I want to move our couch around. I want to change stuff every day. Laura doesn't like it, but I would like to move stuff around. Just be like, I would like to change our living room up and like you look at it and be like, wonder what we could do to mix it up. Just because it would be nice to have the change, but I do come from that change. Like we come from a house that it was like fun to come home and be like, my parents' bedroom was in a different place. I mean, it was like the most exciting thing to be like, I can't believe this happened. Y'all changed it was fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
There was a hotel in South Korea where 1,600 people had been secretly filmed, and they were live streaming it online. And some people were paying $45 for a monthly fee to watch this. The site had over 4,000 members before it was busted, and just kind of a crazy thing that police said they've heard of secret videoing, but never live streaming it where people could watch it.
Mm-hmm.
They're fine with the video.
Well, they're not fine with it, but
yeah.
just like a new level. I started thinking, can you imagine you pay $45 to watch this pay-per-view and you think it's going to be some woman, in the last minute, me and her switch rooms. It's just me in there.
I think people like watching. I think it's the idea of watching someone live a life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just very curious. People are very curious to be how someone else does something.
Truman Show. That kind of mentality.
Yeah.
So you think they'd enjoy watching me? It wouldn't bother them.
I think I'm sure there's hope that there's things, but it's like there's also probably got to be some kind of weird thing.
If I could just see you living life and you not know I was watching, I'd check it out.
Yeah.
Just see how he walks
you could
around the
follow
kitchen.
him around. Drive behind him. You could drive right behind him. I don't think he'd ever picking up on a tail. like if the police would be like, how close are you? Like he can hear me on the phone. I don't know how no idea. No clue. I'm talking to him. I go, what are you doing today? Like you could just follow him around. I mean, I've seen him just 'cause we're on the road when we go. I enjoy it. It's everywhere you walk in, just it's like we go in Target in a new city, and it's like, he's just like he like takes a moment just to be like, what's happening?
Well, that one in Minneapolis was like multiple levels. That Target.
Yeah.
That was cool. Like I remember seeing. I remember in L.A. they had the escalator that takes
the shopping cart.
for the shopping cart, and I remember that. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I enjoy life.
No, yeah, I enjoy seeing this stuff too, but like yours is like every time you get an escalator, like I said, every time it's like first time you've ever like when they invent this, and that's how every interaction with it.
Well, Dusty and I will be together this weekend, and Aaron and I the following weekend. So you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
can watch as much as you
Yeah,
want.
man.
Oh, welcome to the show. Y'all traveling together?
Yeah.
Y'all traveling together?
Mhm.
I think so.
Oh yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. Let me know. Let me know how it goes.
I may check it out. I may go some places with you and then say that I'm not going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll be like, let's
Just
go
to
to
watch?
Target, and then I'll go. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take off,
Yeah,
and then I'll hang
Yeah,
in
and
the
sit
little
back and
clothes
watch.
rack. You know,
Yeah.
I'll get in between them.
yeah.
Just watch me in the
Are
wild.
y'all sitting next to each other on the plane?
We'll probably drive
Oh, y'all. Where are y'all going?
Huntsville.
Oh,
Yeah,
and you're probably.
Yeah.
I like that from Nashville. You're like, we'll probably drive. Might not.
you
Might
never
take a
know.
flight.
You never know.
You
You know,
Yeah,
we might
take
do a little
layover.
skipper.
Might do a little layover in Birmingham. Come
Yeah.
back to Huntsville.
Yeah.
We might Uber it. Who knows?
Yeah, you will drive. Are y'all?
Ryan and I are going to Salt Lake City, so we're
All
definitely
right.
flying.
And your tickets next to each other?
I think we're taking different airlines there.
Yeah.
Why did y'all do that?
Well,
Well, I'm a Southwest guy and I'm loyal.
Oh,
Didn't want to get
he
tired.
offered. He's like, "I'll put you on my companion pass." I'm like, "This will be great." And he's like, "Oh, sorry, you can't do it."
I couldn't do it
oh, wow. Oh,
because I'm using it for my
Yeah.
wife like the day
Yeah.
before, and they won't let you
yeah,
change.
yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
looked into it.
That's not the reason
Yeah.
you gave me, but okay.
What was the reason?
You said the flight was full.
Oh, I don't remember saying that.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
I did look into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Perfect.
You don't
Yeah.
seem to believe me, but
Yeah.
I definitely did look
Be a
into
perfect
it.
time to do some watching, though. for
Yeah.
What flight are you doing?
I'm doing, I think, American there and Delta back.
Yeah.
Flights are incredibly expensive.
So
They are.
expensive.
Yeah.
I was buying flights. We were talking about it before we started this podcast, and it's unbelievable. They were, I mean, $2,000.
Yeah.
And we buy a lot of flights, obviously, with going all these. It's unreal. Yeah, it's. I mean, it was like we're going to Bend, Oregon, and Jacksonville, Oregon, and not easy to get to.
hmm
And so it's like, and then you just get in the flights there. You're like, I mean, it's it's so much money, but it's crazy. It is crazy times. All right, is that it?
Yep.
All right. So this comes out this week, and then I'll be in Canada this week, and next week's me and Leanne Morgan at San Diego County Fair. Nick Novicki will be there with us.
Oh,
Very
nice.
excited about that.
That'll be fun.
I love getting to hang with Leanne, and then I'm a big fan of her.
She's
She's
great.
great, man.
Yeah,
Really
like
great.
even the more I started watching her, I just like she's her own person,
Yep.
and I realized like I've become way into that,
Mm-hmm.
and like so if someone's their own person and I'm just like no one's doing what they're doing,
hmm
I am hooker, line, sinker, whatever this. What was the saying?
Sink line and hooker.
Sink, line, and hooker.
Yeah.
I love it so
Yeah,
much.
she's really great.
She doesn't
Yeah,
change
I'm
the
a
way
big
she
fan.
talks for anyone.
No, it's
yeah,
so
yeah.
authentic.
It's just it's like authenticity is what I'm on board with, and so I love that. So yeah, we'll be there, and then y'all got
Huntsville this weekend.
We're in Huntsville, but also, big announcement. I hit 10,000 followers on Twitter.
Whoa!
Boom. So
Boom.
the
There
Nate
you
Land
go.
podcast. I mean, everybody
Put you over the
it really
edge.
came through. I'm actually at like 10.3 now. I mean,
Now they
Wow.
could, but so they should unfollow now because now are you gonna?
well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would go back down.
Now you're back to. I know, but were you using Twitter? You say you will use Twitter now.
Well, yeah, I'll try to use it now.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
It's
mean,
finally
it'll
worth your time.
Yeah.
10,000 it took 10,000.
Well, it just looks good to have the
looks
little
good.
letter in there.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just,
The 10.3K.
10.3K.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that letter, the letter K.
Like the letter K.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
yeah.
feels good.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Has your TikTok blown up at all since we?
Oh, I blew up. I got 10.3K.
it did
Did you
double.
sign
though,
up for
at
TikTok?
least. It more than doubled.
Well, last week we looked at it, I had 80
Oh, yeah.
followers, and
yeah.
now
Oh,
it's like 300 something.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good.
so that's big
starting
time.
to-
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is,
Yeah. If people want to keep up to date with the squirrel stuff, you
Yep.
can go on to Brian's TikTok,
Yep.
and he'll talk to you with his nose touching the phone. And
yeah. What is it? 377. You added, almost
Yeah.
300.
Yeah.
That's
look,
amazing.
look at Irish Springs. Look how close he is. I mean, his hat bill's probably hit the phone a couple times.
I looked at some other people like
Yeah.
John Chris and people. And
Oh,
to me,
yeah.
it just seems like it's the same distance.
He's getting
Yeah.
in there. Yeah.
No, I'm.
A lot of people think I live in Lebanon
Yeah.
with the squirrel problem. I don't. I just want to clarify. I haven't lived there a long time. I live in Nashville.
Go ahead and give
Yeah.
your address. I think you're fine with giving it.
I wouldn't care.
Yeah,
The only reason
I'd love you to stop by.
I would love it. Come on,
Doors
by
open.
anytime. I live close to a couple of your buddies,
Yeah,
Shay and John.
yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm out with Bert Kreischer this weekend on
Oh,
the
begins.
fully loaded
That's fun.
tour.
Yeah.
South Bend, Indiana. I'm excited about. Haven't
All
been back
right,
in a
get a little
while.
homecoming, big
Yeah,
time.
a little bit of
Yeah.
one.
That's a big one.
I hope that guy Concrete can come. You remember that guy? He was at a show
Oh
there.
my god!
one
Yeah,
time.
I opened for Dusty at South Bend, Indiana, and there's this guy in the front with tattoos all over his face. And I asked the crowd, "Does anybody have a nickname?" Because that's the kind of material I was doing back then.
Mm.
And this guy said, "My name's Concrete."
Oh, wow.
And I go, "How'd you get that name?" He said, "I got it in prison."
Yeah.
And I said, "I don't want to know anymore." And then he cornered me and Dusty and talked to us for about an hour after the show
How did he get it? Why?
because he would slam people's heads into concrete.
Oh, that's cool.
Terrifying guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
They
terrifying
were like, we
guy.
could go with slam heads. We call them slam. And you're like, and he's like, I don't know, man.
They already
He
had a
said-
slam, maybe.
They already had a
Yeah.
slam.
Yeah.
And heads is not very fun.
No.
And then concrete.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to say. It's like it's hard to be like concrete. Concrete.
Concrete.
Just, yeah, he goes, yeah, it's like a weird, yeah, it's a tough one to say, but you know what's going to happen to you if you don't say it.
Right. You better
Right.
say it.
You better say
He got
it.
up and left during Dusty's set. And Dusty was like, "Concrete,
Yeah.
you're the foundation of the show."
Oh, that's
I remember
funny.
being like, "That was great."
That's a great line.
That was a great riff.
Yeah.
I did want to ask before we go if you and Dusty's opinion on that image from the Amarillo Zoo, what that was walking around
Oh,
out there.
Oh, the Wolfman?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Could be a wolf.
Looks
man.
like a Wolfman to me.
If I've ever seen one, it's a wolf man.
I mean, why
I
would the
don't-
Wolfman not be real? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm fine with believing in any of this stuff, and I like it. To me, it's like it feels like that's going to be a kid in a costume.
Yeah.
It's going to knock. I would love for it to work out this easy. I think to find this stuff is not going to be this easy.
Yeah, it's too
And
obvious.
so,
you think it's too obvious to be
yeah,
to be
yeah,
accurate?
I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
zoo's probably doing experiments on people
Yeah.
and that thing escaped.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
some kind of
That's the Dusty I want.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, some kind of dog human hybrid they're working on.
I bet
Working
it's
on
yeah. I bet it's like someone doing a joke. I
Yeah.
bet you can't go find it. Just
Trying to-
Wolfman's just not going.
Trying to find a way to really bring the pet human
Yeah.
relationship together.
Wolfman, I'm half and half. I don't know if I'd go that far, but Bigfoot, you got to go out in the woods,
Yeah,
and
okay.
like it's just
It's not going to show up by a chain link fence like
No,
this.
no.
It's
He
too
wants to
smart.
free his
Well,
brother,
he's
maybe.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
He's like,
man,
yeah.
I've never been outside before.
maybe he hasn't quit drinking yet. Like
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, maybe that's why he just
Yeah.
blacked out. On
Yeah,
it.
yeah, all right. Thank you, everybody. As always, we love you. We appreciate you that you listen, and we will see you next week. See ya. Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the All Things Comedy Network. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.